glitching. It's fucking been glitching. All right, is it glitching? I don't think it's glitching. Okay, I think we're good. Just had to double check, make sure it's not glitching. Because TikTok's been weird lately. TikTok has been weird lately, but we here. We are here. Give me a second, bro. I think I just made a glitch. What's going on, baby girl? Gorilla, welcome in, bro. Okay. I'm just trying to see if it's glitching or not. I don't know if it's glitching or not, but I'm just trying to make sure that it doesn't. Because if it does, then we're screwed. I can't post it. Okay, you good. You good, you good, you good. I'm gonna share this out to the Discord. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Doing good. We getting situated. I'm a few minutes late. I'm usually on earlier than this, earlier than my usual. A few minutes late. A few minutes late. But a lot of good things. A lot of good things. Oh, what is it zooming like that for? Weird. Okay. Good morning, Nightmare. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. A lot of good things. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm gearing up for this hiatus. Gearing up for this hiatus, man. This is the last episode of season one, guys. Last episode of season one. So much growth, man. So much growth. Oh, man. Shout out to all the people that's been here since day one. I can't believe it. Season one is over, y'all. It's been such a long year. Such a long year, man. We touched on so much topics. We touched on so many topics. Oh, man. So many topics. It's crazy. It is crazy. I gotta get you in the Discord, Gorilla, bro. We gotta get you in there. We gotta get you in there. Your perspectives are for a very, very intellectual and interesting. I think people would really appreciate it too. We gotta get you in there. I gotta send you an invite. Oh man. But yeah, man, I can't believe it. The year's up. That's crazy. Yo, think about that, homie, because it's been a year. It's been a year. This is the first time we're actually been posting our stuff, right? Your TikTok glitch. Is it glitching for you guys? Please let me know if it's glitching or not. If it's glitching, let me know so I can reset. Yeah, if it's glitching, then let me know so I can do a quick reset. Montana, welcome in. Make sure my volume's all the way up. There we go. Now I can hear you guys better. I can hear myself now. It had you skipping. Yeah, let me know if it does, because I want to be able to post this. It was, but good. Okay. Because I have my. It could be a signal. Okay. What's my AirPod do? Because I have my iPad here, so I can always double check on there too, just in case, because shit's been tripping lately. I think it's TikTok at this point. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. So I got a surprise for you guys later. I got a surprise for you guys. Um, y'all know me. I don't like surprises, but I like to give surprises. So today, what we're doing today is we're recapping the whole season. We're gonna talk about all the episodes we've had, all the topics that we've touched. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna open the boxes for testimonies. So share it out to the Discord if you guys can. If you guys are part of the Discord, I think the problem for me is when I go to share it to other profiles, is when it starts to glitch. So if you are part of the Discord, can you share the link to the Discord for me? I'd appreciate that. Just because it glitches when I try to do it. And yeah. So if you guys can, just share that out to the Discord. Share it out to like 15 people. Everybody share it out if y'all can. Because we're going to have some fun. It's going to be dope. Everybody share it out if y'all can. Because we're going to have some fun. It's going to be dope. About with some stuff to give out. I'm going to need everybody's email. I'm going to need with some stuff to give out. I'm going to need everybody's email. I'm going to need everybody's email. So I got some things for you guys. I'm going to need everybody's email. So I got some things for you guys. Hollywood in the building. What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Andre TJ. Welcome in. It's going to be interesting, man. I can't believe it's been a year. Good morning. That's crazy. Coach Derek is in the building. What's it good, bro? Maddie Love, welcome in. Can y'all believe we're going on 4 years? That's quick. Cassandra, welcome in. We're going on 4 years, guys. 4 years. No, 15 is the max. 15 is the max. Yeah, 15 is the max. You're good. That's crazy. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Last episode, guys, of season 1. It's been a roller coaster of a year. Pee Wee in the building. What's going on, my brother? Welcome in. Pee Wee, were you able to get into the Discord? Were you able to get in? I just realized the Discord has a lot of updates. Doing a lot of updates. So everybody that's here, right? Rate your mental 1 to 10. First off, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Right now, I'm at a 9. Barry White in the building. Welcome in. I'm at a 9. I'm at a 9. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So make sure you hit the guidelines. So that way you can also get access to everything. Okay. I want to make sure that anybody that's joining currently has access to everything that they need to have access to before I get out of here for the month. Going on a little hiatus. All right. 9. Okay. Ciara, welcome in. And for the video that I posted early, I posted like maybe like 2 minutes ago. If I missed your name, don't hold it to my heart because listen, my brain doesn't work. Is skipping it again? It might be TikTok at this point. I don't know at this point. It might be TikTok. Yeah, it's most likely TikTok. TikTok's been tripping lately, and I don't know what to do about it. Country Fried in the building, Grand Rising. Whew. So many things. So many things. Yeah, so many things. So many things. So much growth over the course of the year. Ah, man. Everybody that's been here since day 1, or at least has been here within the season, right? Season 1. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back, right? Give yourself so much grace. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the topics that we talk about aren't easy topics, right? We know that. We know the topics aren't easy. But most people will never touch those topics, right? The ones that we choose, nobody will ever attempt to touch those for most part. They just won't do it, right? Not saying they're not capable, but they just choose not to for whatever reason. And I think me and Hormiga just like the challenge of seeing other people's perspectives after we provide the education with everything, right? I think it's one of those things like we want to see how much you guys really truly know, right? When we touch on these topics. If you've been on my YouTube, you guys know that I posted 15 episodes. 15. Okay. There's been 15 episodes in this season alone. So, um, so much. I think the one topic for me that was really crazy was the narcissist topic. When we covered the whole narcissist thing, that one was interesting. I thought that was probably the most interesting one, right? Because for the most part, everybody would love to attack the narcissist on, having those traits and being that type of person, and you know what I'm saying, and just wanting to crucify the narcissist. And we brought a different perspective that alleviated the attack on the narcissist. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as much of a hit to them than it would be if we didn't do that live, right? We had so many other people talking about what a narcissist does, who he is as a person, or who she is as a person, and yada yada yada. But we did something that nobody thought to do. We brought the perspective of the doctor. We brought the perspective of the doctor. The perspective of the doctor. We brought the perspective of the doctor, and that the doctor and everything had that she had to say, and where it stems from, how they live with it on doctor, and everything had that she had to say, and where it stems from, how they live with it on a daily basis. Some of the narcissists actually want to heal and grow. How they live with it on a daily basis. Some of the narcissists actually want to heal and grow and be a part of society. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It's crazy. It was a good topic. Such a good topic. It was good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It's crazy. It was a good topic. Such a good topic. It was good, bro.
Good morning.
Hey, it was interesting, right, Son LC? It was dope. It was dope. I enjoyed that season so much. That episode so much. Um, I enjoyed that so much.
Here's another perspective about the narcissist, and good morning to all. We kind of talked about the word itself and people that abuse the using the word
Grand
narcissist
Rising.
every time that
Thank you,
things
Diamond.
didn't go their way.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a word that started flooding common
social.
conversation.
Yeah, it did.
Like, oh my God, you're so difficult. You're a narcy.
Am I though?
I guess according to everybody's definition, we're all narcissists.
I mean, we all have traits. We all have traits of a narcissist, but that's another conversation. We do.
My thing is, my thing is that if you are a full blown narcissist, you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, no facts. Unless you were diagnosed with the trait, I'm just saying. Unless you were diagnosed with the trait, you really wouldn't know, for real. To be honest, um, we went deep into the stocks, man. With this season, we did. We went to the stocks with all this stuff, man. We talked about the blueprint. We talked about I think one of the ones that was really dope, and I don't know if anybody ever watched it. If you did, then you had to go all the way down to watch it. But it was the one that we did called I am my brother and my sister's keeper.
Yep.
That one, shout out to Sweetie for that, because we that was a topic that she brought to the season in regards to really being able to kind of quote unquote hold your people accountable, and also don't allow anybody to disrespect your people. Like, let's say me and Hormiga are going at it, right? And then some third party person decides to put their input that we know, but we're not as tight with as we would be with each other. You know what I'm saying? And they've tried to put their input, and they tried to disrespect Hormiga off of what happened. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not standing for that, right? That's what that episode was about, pretty much. Are you that type of person to protect your people even though you and them are at odds? You know what I'm saying? Or are you gonna let that third party kind of jump the bandwagon and start saying some wild stuff? You know what I'm saying? Alicia, welcome in. So that episode right there was actually pretty dope. I think we had a lot of fun with that topic. It brought a lot of different perspectives that most people didn't think of. Um, it
You
was
got, you got to see people's true allegiance.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that people do ignore the fact that is when it comes to a true friendship, when it comes to true supporting the person that you really rock with, there's a lot that goes into that, right? I consider it's just as important the way that you treat your friends, the way that you treat your relationship outside of the intimacy, right? Outside of the romantic intimacy, I should say, because there is intimacy in a friendship, right? Because how would you be able to build a bond without it, right? You know what I'm saying? So there is levels to it. So my thing is, in regards to that episode, we tried to make sure that we tackled all of it, because one of the things that you never want to ignore is the fact that even though you are at odds with your folks, you should never allow somebody to disrespect them, no matter what. You can be mad. I could be as mad as I want with J2 or Diamond, but let me hear somebody disrespecting them. That's gonna be a whole different ballgame, because I'm not gonna stand for it. We could be mad at each other all we want. We can not we could disagree. We can yell and have a shouting match and all this extra stuff, but those are still my sisters, and I will move boulders and mountains to make sure that they're not disrespected. And that's the same thing for Hormiga. That's the same thing for Derek. That's the same thing, obviously, for Babe. You know what I'm saying? You know, for the people that I've known for long times, even the people that I've known for a shorter time, but I still rock with you. Me and you could have the worst argument in history, right? That doesn't stop me from loving you. That doesn't stop me from acting on the disrespect. I'm not gonna let somebody disrespect you because we're at odds. You know how crazy that sounds? But that's what that episode was about. That's what that episode was about. Showing those different perspectives and being able to see what true loyalty looks like. It was good. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. Um, and then we also had an episode about communicating with self. That one was huge, huge, huge. Fostering self love. I know we hear that a lot, right? Self love, self love, self love. You know, what's self love? What does that look like? Um, we know we talk about that mirror talk, right? That's that mirror talk. Being able to tell people no and stand on it in regards to you. You know, how many times have overlooked us? We overlooked ourselves for others. Didn't focus on us the way that we were supposed to. Didn't focus on the things that we love, the things that we want to do for us, and in reference to just being there for everybody else. We've all done it. We're all of it. We all have done that multiple times.
Balance, balance, balance.
You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But one of the things that I've noticed about me, especially this year alone, I've said no a lot. I've said no a lot. It's amazing once you take control of yourself and your mental needs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for the gifts, y'all. I appreciate it. I think one of the things that I've noticed for a lot of people that's been here, that's been consistent, you guys have changed. Like when you guys first got here, I know I felt a lot of resistance, right? Angie, welcome in. I felt a lot of resistance when you guys first got here. But you guys have grown so much. You good, Pee Wee. You're a newbie, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? You've known about us, and you've heard conversations, and you know what I'm saying. So you're not completely a newbie, but yeah,
Kiwi,
you've been.
this is your last year of being a newbie. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um,
Alexa, lights off.
a lot of the things that a lot of the topics that we've talked about, everybody can learn from and grow from. So if you're not following me on here, or if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel. It's linked to my profile. You don't even have to go to the link tree. It's linked right to my profile. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel and go watch all the seasons. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. Watch it. You can pause it. You can take notes. You can do all of it, right? So much information. And there's a wealth of knowledge in those 15 episodes. Wealth of knowledge, I promise you. And it wasn't just only me and Hormiga that were in the boxes. There was Tamika, there was Derek, there was a few others, Venus. You know what I'm saying? People came up and gave their perspectives. And outside of the coaches, just normal people coming up and giving their perspective and their experiences of the things that they've dealt with in life. Like one of the things that we tell you guys all the time is experience is the best teacher. We're going to always tell you guys that experience is the best teacher. You can have all the degrees you want, you can have all the certificates and the certifications, but your experience is the best teacher. Nobody can tell you anything different. But the thing is, did you learn the lesson within your experience? That's the one thing that differs. You can experience everything, but have you learned the lesson and then within each experience that you had? That's the one thing that most people don't get is there's a lesson in every experience, but did you get it? Gotta ask yourself that question. Um, One of the episodes we also did. Shout out to oh, what's going on, Cameron? Welcome in, bro. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Thank you. I appreciate that, Alicia. Um, I mean, listen, I'm trying to tell you guys this the way that everything is structured now, it was not like this before. It wasn't. Okay. Diamond could tell you that, J2 could tell you that, Hormiga could tell you that, Derek could tell you that. It wasn't as structured as it was before when we first started. Okay. 3 years ago, this was a mess. This was a mess. Okay, it wasn't where it's supposed to where it is now. There's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of changes. We've had changing mods and changing people just being on the platform. We've had changing co-hosts. Like we've had a whole bunch of different. Right, exactly. It's been a progress. Okay, everything that we've done, it's been nothing but growth, right? Trial and error in all of it. Trial and error. And I think a lot of the things in regards to what we do, right? And no shade to anybody. The reason why we haven't fall short is because we don't ignore the fact that we have errors. We don't ignore the errors. We know things need to change. We know things need to grow. We know where the mistakes are and how we you know grow from the mistakes, or we captivate those mistakes and make them into something positive. That's the reason why we've been able to do it for the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? It's not because we ignore the problems or the changes. You know how many arguments me and this man had over the years? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've had arguments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Arguments, discussions, disagreements, like, but it's always in love, right? It's never a shade, it's never an attack on each other. But that's what comes with having, you know, this type of environment, this type of platform. Like, we're two different individuals. We have two different mindsets. We agree on a lot, but we also disagree on a lot. So,
You're not supposed to agree on everything.
right. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of the things that we do talk about, the topics that we do bring, are conversations that we've actually had on the back end. We've actually had these conversations. This man has called me while I'm at the gym talking about a topic. Like, I'll be at the gym and he's calling me. We're just chopping it up and shooting the shit, and just next thing you know, boom, a topic pops up, and then we like, all right, we're gonna do this. Let's do it. And then I'll go home, do my research, and bring my perspective. He'll bring his perspective, and then next thing you know, you guys got yourself a Saturday live. But yeah, I'm gonna let him take the floor for a little bit because I know he's over here putting stuff together. But go ahead, go ahead.
Well, we got the year in review. We talked about a couple of different topics that we went through this year. One quick topic that I would like to touch that I didn't tell you about. I want your feelings on this.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about vetting versus venting.
Hmm. Okay.
And I'm not gonna say that I caught you off guard because you should already be used to me throwing these things at you. I'm helping you develop a sense of quick wit. Quick wit is a sign of intelligence.
Mm.
When
Tanya in the building. Welcome in.
when a person starts speaking an answer, you immediately have to regulate yourself when you make a response.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if you didn't start right, you can curb it. If you start right, you have to maintain it.
Mm.
If you start it wrong, you have to end it right.
Okay.
So let's talk about. I'll give you a statement. When it comes to vetting, you have to be careful that that doesn't turn into venting. And I look at it as if you're full of shit, it's not going to come out of your ass, it's going to come out of your mouth.
So one of the things for me, right, when it comes to venting, real quick, right, is for me, right, I always gear the conversation towards self, right, because then you can't make it into you can't make it into a boxing match, right, in a sense, because when you don't gear it towards self, when the conversation is geared towards the other person, it just becomes a boxing match for them to attack that other person or the other situation, right? It usually ends up as that. That's the reason why I don't always involve the other person. Like, let's say somebody's going through a breakup, and I know both of them, and they're attacking each other on social media, like they're really going at it, right? I redirect the conversation to self because I already know you guys already done beat each other up verbally, maybe physically. TikTok educational purposes. So I really don't want to talk about the other person because I already know you've done that enough. Let's talk about you for a second, right? Let's have a conversation about self. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see if you can actually even have that conversation because you spend so much time attacking the other person. You probably can't even have the conversation about you.
That's where people get it wrong because the relationship starts before the relationship starts,
Yeah.
right? Because
Right.
here comes the vetting part, right?
Mm.
You're vetting. What does that look like? You're trying to find out this person's stance, right? This
Mm-hmm.
perspectives. And what ends up happening is that in the process of us vetting someone,
Mm-hmm.
we're jealous that we're not talking about ourselves.
Absolutely.
And then ends up happening is that this person may have a lot of nice things to say. And in the process of them saying nice things, you'll say to yourself, I got a lot of nice things to say too. Wait a minute. I'm a good person too. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. What does that sound like? Me too. Me too.
You just trying to fit in. Like you just want to be a part of the conversation. Cool. Okay. I get that. That's nice and all, but if well, first of all, if you are a nice person and a good person, right, you don't have to vocalize it.
How
Your
about
your actions alone will show that you're a nice person and a good person,
how about
right?
this? How about when you ask someone something, a question that sounds like this? What do you think about? And then when they answer you, they say, and then you tell them you don't agree. Hey, Teddy, what do you think about this? Well, I think this. I think you're wrong. How could you be wrong about your thoughts? Your thoughts are your thoughts. Your thoughts are your thoughts. Your thoughts cannot be wrong because that's what you're thinking.
I think the problem in regards to those type of conversations is the individual that says your thought is wrong, they want to manipulate your thought process.
This means that they don't agree with you.
That too, but those so let's put it this way, right? Let's don't we've all had this conversation before. So let's do this, right? Let's use his example, right? Hey Hormiga, I think about this, da 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 da. What's your thought on it? Well, I thought about this. No, you're wrong. Well, how am I wrong in this? But no, you're wrong. This
What the
this this
heck?
is what that is. This is what it. But you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
Yeah, but
But
you
am
don't.
I?
You see, here's the thing. Sometimes we have to vet the vetter.
That's 95% of TikTok lives.
You know what I just said, Derek? This is for you. Sometimes you have to vet the vetter
Yeah, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
because the vetter is the one. The intention is the most important thing about vetting, right? What are you trying to accomplish in this interview, in this resume acquisition, in this getting to know you, getting to know all about you? You will never get to know someone if you think for them. You will never get to know someone if you have emotional triggers. You will never get to know someone if you don't allow them to be themselves.
A quick tip for everybody that's looking for a job, right? Vet your managers during your interview. Yeah, yeah, I know. Vet your managers during your interview.
Well, people don't understand that during an interview, it's not just a one-sided thing, right? You
It's
have
not.
to interview the company and interview the manager or the managing
Listen,
hiring manager that's asking you these questions. They actually will love you if you have any questions. Now, when somebody says, "Do you have any questions?" and you don't have any questions, I can't trust you.
yeah, listen. So many people go into interviews so nervous, thinking it's one-sided, but it's not. Your nervousness is coming from that one-sided thought process. Believe it or not.
Your nervousness comes from your necessity to have that job, as opposed to you choosing this job. That job is choosing you because you need a job. There's a different survival mode when you're going into a job interview, and they can see right through that.
You know what's funny about that? Yeah, absolutely, they can. And it's crazy because with the job that I have now, when I had the interview, I vetted both of my managers. Come to find out, they both graduated from the same high school I went to.
Yeah,
Like,
common ground,
look at
common
that
ground.
common ground off rip, right? I think alone, right? Because I don't when they talk about my resume, they have that resume conversation, I don't need to talk about my resume. You have it there for a reason. There's no need for me to talk about it, right? So I try to remove the conversation off the resume and just have a normal conversation, right? And then the normal conversation becomes a human experience, and that human experience, you'll be like, oh, he's good with people. He got empathy. Let's hire him because we already know that he has experience. But how is he as a human?
That could be a quality that they're missing in their organizational culture.
Exactly.
Now,
So,
now watch this.
are you good? You good, Derek?
Now watch this. Okay, so you can equate a
Mm,
you can equate a job interview to vetting a person, right?
mm,
Real life, but you could also equate that to a door-to-door sales. When I was taught, the first thing I ever learned was how to sell something, right?
mm,
So, when you're a salesperson and you knock on somebody's door, you kind of nonchalantly try to look in their home to see what kind of pictures they got up, to see what kind of hobbies that they're into, so you could find a common ground.
Right.
So here's the thing. If you are not qualified, if you are not up to par on what they are looking for, then you have to end up selling yourself.
True.
You don't have to sell yourself if you're that person.
I think one of the things too, right? When it comes to vetting and venting, when it comes to vetting, I think,
Say it,
and I know a
say
lot
it,
of people
say
don't
it,
do this.
say it, say it.
And shout out to Derek, right? In regards to the relationship aspect of everything. A lot of y'all don't vet the people that I date. I'm sorry.
Because they're not looking to date someone. They're looking for companionship.
You guys don't vet enough. We've talked, so back to the conversation of picking, like, of the lives that we've done, right? I did a separate live on my own, right? Called The False Blueprint. That false blueprint. Giving too much. Giving the person too much, but you're not asking enough questions. Think about that for a second. Imagine you talking so much, giving this person everything, that everything,
What's
right?
that song we sing? I'm like this and I'm like that and I'm like this and I'm
Right, right,
like this.
exactly, exactly. That's the same, right? Through and through. Welcome in, Sassy. Thank you for the heart, me. And then you think about, damn, I ain't even asked that person a question.
But
Like,
you left out of there with
with
nothing
nothing.
of what you intended to do. You went in there with a plan, and you yourself distracted yourself from the vetting because you got jealous that that person is able to speak about themselves and you didn't get a chance to talk about yourself.
Yeah. Or you're not even confident enough to talk about yourself.
Or you're not ready to be dating in the first place
Or you shouldn't be dating, period.
because you're not ready. Now watch
Pretty
this.
right, Pop and Block. You really just told them how to manipulate you.
Watch this. And spiritual priestess, welcome in. She always has a lot of valuable spiritual perspectives, right? But I'm gonna help out what she said. Watch this. She said we have to accept when someone isn't for us. Let's take that a step further. Just because they didn't make it in the capacity of a dating situation, that doesn't mean there's not another role for them in your life.
Boom.
So we can't be so fast to dismiss someone because they didn't make the cut in a dating situation. Do you know how many people I've sat down with and there was a little bit of interest in this conversation, and then I would blandly say, I don't see you as a person that I would date, but I wouldn't mind having some cool conversation or talking about other things that we have in common, but that dating thing is just not making it right now. So we
I think
gotta be very careful not to dismiss someone because they didn't make the cut that we initially had in our mind.
if the coaches want to come up, you guys are okay to come up. That's fine. If you guys want to come up, just send a request. I think one of the things too, right? I think the one thing that most people want, they want that connection so bad, right? Because they've never had it. They see other people with it. They see other people living that that apple pie life,
Apple
that
pie.
that good apple, like apple pie with the,
Here we go.
with the apple pie in the window, and then you see the smell coming out, and you can
You feel
smell it
like
from the
Nigeria,
outside.
bro.
Right, you know what I'm saying? They see that, right? They see that, but they don't realize the work that people had to do to get there. Right, that didn't just come naturally. Sometimes people had to put the work in to get there. Right, you have to put the work in to get there. You can't just expect it. You can't just expect it. If you guys been paying attention to anything Coach Derek has been saying, you can't just expect it. There's work behind it.
That's bad. It's setting yourself up for failure. When you have expectations of someone that you don't even know yet, you're already setting yourself up. That's that fantasy romanticized. Women usually do this when they already have the role picked out and you have to fit the role in their head.
That's
I'm
not
sorry,
happening.
ladies. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm not saying that men don't do that. This is not an attack on gender. Let's go with the scientific facts because at the end of the day, who are more hopeless romantics, men or women? And that's an open question.
Believe it or not, it's actually men.
Yes.
Facts.
It's
Yes.
actually so just to piggyback on
Yes.
that, right? Um,
No.
He said
You know
no.
what's interesting? You know what's interesting, man? And it's funny because when we learn about all these topics and we have all these discussions,
yes,
a lot of people have all the right things to say, all the know-how in the world. But here's where a lot of people fuck up. Practical application,
boom.
doing the things that they know they should be,
Hmm.
and actually putting it into action. Because we can have the conversations about these stuff and learn the tools and learn the tips, right? You know, Derek has great, dating advice. He made his bread and butter on that from starting, right? Now he's doing the healing coaching, right? You've done the discipline and Armiga's done the transition. How many times have y'all seen everybody get the tools, everybody get the tips, and not apply a damn one?
I've seen it a lot, which is why I vocalized for the people that are in the Discord, right? When you guys go to all the coaches, when you guys make your rounds and get all the knowledge or information that you need, you have to come back to me. You
Right,
have no choice but to come back to me because
right.
at this because once you get everything, just because you have everything doesn't mean you know how to apply it. So you still have to work on your discipline and you still have to work on the confidence of applying these things and not allowing outside interferences for the people that haven't done the work. Because
Hmm.
you're gonna create people that are gonna be envious of the fact that you are a better version of yourself. Your family's not going to look at you the same. Your friends are not going to look at you the same. People at your job are not going to look at you the same. They're not.
Hmm.
And that's just the truth, right? Into all of this. That's the truth. That's what's going to happen. When you get the coaching from Derek, when you get the coaching from Riz, when you go through your transition with Hormiga, when you go through your spiritual with Tamika, when you do the self mastery with Venus, when you do the nutrition with Tanya, and you guys are whole, when you guys are whole, when you guys are really the better version of yourself, guess what? A lot of the people that are currently in your life might not be in your life after that. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. You know how many people I've cut off, not intentionally, but it just happened that way.
I think there's a better way to say that. You know how many people cut themselves off?
Yeah, because
That
I never cut nobody
That
off in
well,
my
I
life.
had
yeah.
I'm
You know
not gonna
how many
I'm
people
gonna be
cut themselves
transparent.
off?
I gotta be transparent. I had to be
Mm.
transparent. I'm sorry. Because I had to cut a few people off, right? Because you do have some leeches that don't want to let go. No matter how hard you try to tell them to, they can go, they can leave, right?
Yeah, I've been a firm believer in saying that I don't cut anybody out of my life. They find a way to work themselves out of it.
And the most of them do, absolutely. But you also have some leeches.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, look, somebody in the chat said, Alicia Joy, thank you for that. Enlighten me on that, please. What I meant by that men are more hopeless romantics is because women already have the painted picture.
Sat, good morning.
Women
Yeah.
already have the painted picture of who we're supposed to be before we are that person. That very rare that a man gets recognized for who he is instead of who he's supposed to be.
Thank you,
Boom. So,
thank you.
but the romantic thing, right? Let's just kind of open that up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Men only romantic to the person that he's supposed to be with. He's not going to be romantic with everybody. So if you get
That's
a
very vulnerable for men.
so if you get a man that's romantic towards you, or that shows absolute love, that kind of lets his hair down and be that goofy self and that person, right?
The one that expresses the vulnerability and the
Right.
transparency.
You're
Exactly.
skipping something, bro.
Mm.
You're skipping.
So hold on. I'm kind of I'm talking to the ladies today, right? Because I think the one thing that we get confused is that the man is supposed to show romance to every single woman that he dates. That's not the case. That's not true. That's a lie. That's false. That's false. That's not true. I promise you it's not. Cause I was with my kid's mom for 6 years and I didn't show her an ounce of romance. And this is just me being honest, right?
I get that.
right? I didn't show her also romance. I honestly think we were just together in regards to the kids. Like, no shade to my kid's mom. She's an amazing person, amazing mom. But this is my just truth. Wasn't that. I've shown more romance in the last year that I've been with Sweetie than I have in the 6 years that I've been with
I'll
her.
tell you why though.
Yeah, absolutely. Go
Watch
ahead.
this. Look, I'm gonna relate that to what you said and what our son LT said. So how is that painted picture different from manifestation? Well, manifesting. Here's the thing about manifesting. Women need to stop manifesting what they want and start manifesting what they need.
I like that.
Jesus
I'll even take it a step
Christ.
further. If it's something you actually want to manifest, how about you embody it before you say you want it?
Well,
Well,
this is what Teddy said. Teddy said the reason why Teddy is more romantic now than ever is because he started romanticizing himself.
yes.
You have to have a romance or a bromance with yourself as a man before you are romantic to someone else.
So for me, and I can only speak for me, right? I will, and Hormiga knows this because I've told him everything at this point. I was celibate for 4 years, no relations with any single human being at all,
You're a better man than me.
right? For 4 years. I dated myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I took myself out to eat. You know what I'm saying? I went to the movies. I took myself shopping. I went to go get my nails done and my feet done. And, you know what I'm saying? I had my barbershop talk with my fellas. And, you know what I'm saying? I did all these things, right? To know that I loved myself enough. Most people don't love their self
You
enough.
have to learn how to be alone before you're with someone else. You
Yeah.
have to learn how to live with yourself before you share that space with someone else.
And hold on, wait a minute, time out, right? Before even doing that, just shout out to Derek, just because you isolated yourself doesn't mean that you're with yourself.
That doesn't mean you're right. It may you could be by yourself or alone or whatever words because we get caught up with the semantics of this, but it has to be effective.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? Being comfortable, being happy. Not if you need someone else or you have to go to a place to be happy, then you're not happy.
Exactly. And
Go.
that's also in the conversation of vetting. You have to vet yourself. Boom.
So now, Liz, watch this. We're talking about vetting real quick versus venting and how to avoid the vetting from turning into venting.
I mean, I did a little venting with myself too. I ain't gonna act like I didn't do
In
it.
the
I did.
process of vetting, though,
In the process of vetting, absolutely.
that
I
means
did it.
that means you're a human.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, well, I mean, y'all know that's kind of my milieu, right? It's vetting, right? Because you vet yourself. It's all about self
Jean
awareness.
Louis.
But you know, it's easy to mistake things that aren't when you know what they are.
Mm, facts.
Good point, priestess. She said, and if somebody read what priestess just wrote, because I'm
I'll
writing.
Oh, she
read it.
wrote.
Isolation isn't the same as solitude.
That's deep.
Mm,
That's deep.
powerful.
That is powerful. That
You
is
know,
powerful.
know
I
the
think
difference, man, because a lot of these words, wordplay is cool and vocabulary is cool, but sometimes people like the word that they choose over the other one, and it's an actual synonym, not an opposite.
either that or they just want what makes sense to them, and it doesn't make sense because let's keep it up. Let's keep it a buck, right? We create things in our head that don't make sense
You do
half the
that?
time.
You do
Of
that?
course.
No.
Come on. Like, let's keep it all
Come
the
on,
way
man.
100.
It's
You
almost
don't even.
Wait,
2025, man.
who
Come
does
on, man.
that? Who does that?
I'm just.
We don't we don't make up things that don't actually happen and then have to get brought down to
Are you
reality.
serious?
Of course.
What?
Like,
No way.
no.
I'm learning something new today.
Shit.
Well, I'll be golly.
Well, I'll be damned.
Don't get me started. I'm serious. Today's not the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like,
I'm
Wait a
just.
minute. Wait. So you guys are telling me that sometimes the things that I think are actually real aren't, and it's okay for somebody to bring me back down to reality.
Absolutely.
But it's better. It's
Wow.
better if you have the emotional intelligence to catch it yourself.
Darcel, welcome in.
Mm, that
Yes,
is strong.
Because I
that's
keep trying, I
strong.
keep trying to tell people, right? What's the name of this show? Mind Your Mental, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
don't mind your mental and somebody else has to mind your mental for you, then you're not working in an autonomous capacity.
Boom. You're pretty much living in a toxic relationship with yourself.
Could you imagine
Cause
that having have, I'm the
All
first
right,
one
wait.
to admit,
Are you talking about my shadow self? Don't do that.
but that's what I'm saying.
He's
I'm
all
the
right.
first one to admit you should hear the arguments I have with myself.
listen,
They are hilarious.
I think a lot of the times, right, we don't. Oh, did you? Awesome. I need pictures, Darcel. I need pictures.
I want
Um,
results.
I love the fact that I love the fact that every conversation that we've had for the class year, right, is always geared towards self, right? The only way it's not geared towards self is if you choose to not make it geared towards self.
What's the key word there?
Self.
Mm, choose.
Ah, the choice.
Self is always going to be a part of this, but
The
knowing
choice.
the difference between a choice, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
people feel like they don't have a choice. Of course, you don't have a choice. You think linearly. You think one dimensionally. How are you
Mm-hmm.
flexible if you only do things one way,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I
bro?
think we've taught you guys that, right? Like, you can't have a linear thinking come in here because it's not going to work. It's not going to
Yeah, but
work.
the other part of teaching is learning it.
Yeah. I think too, like, well, I know. I can't keep saying I think I know. I know for the fact that a lot of us, coming in here in the beginning stages were very skeptical, right? They were like, what is these two guys up here doing? And why they keep talking about these topics and who do they think that they are?
And then they're laughing at us.
Of course, right? But there's a reason why we do these topics, right? There's a reason why we bring these things to the world of TikTok is because most people are afraid to. Just being honest, right?
Come on, bro. Most people that come up and talk about topics, they don't even do the stats. They let the people that come in the panels do the stats for them. They don't do the research.
Yeah, there's no research
They come
behind it,
in here
right?
talking about topics that you're not even educated on. You look stupid. I'm sorry.
So one of the things I appreciate about all the coaches, right? Collectively, all of us, even the ones that are still getting their feet wet and trying to go live and do these things, right? Even if you guys don't see it, we do our research. All of us collectively do our research. Me, Hormiga, Riz, Tanya, Derek, Venus, Mika, right? Even the coaches that are in the Discord that are not the main core coaches, right? Coach Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like we have coaches in there. Dr. Sonyata, she does her research. Like all of us collectively do our research, right?
And
To make sure.
interesting part about it, right? Interesting part about not only doing the research, right? But you've had these conversations with Omega, so have I, right?
Hmm.
Iron sharpening iron. We challenge each other's thought processes,
Every time.
not to attack each other's thought process, but to challenge each
No,
other,
to grow. Hey, Glow,
so that
welcome
we
in.
actually have practice
Hmm.
in what we're talking about. So we continuously are sharpening our skills and honing them to a degree that becomes unshakable
Right.
and
Agreed.
still accept when they can be shaken.
Hmm.
The way I look at things is it's either acknowledging something that I already know or it's adding to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not without practice, right? Because we have to practice these things. Because the one thing that I appreciate, right, is the fact that we don't just do this. We just don't go live and just do this. Like we apply it to our everyday. Like this is something that we apply every day, right? Do we fall short? Absolutely. We're human, right? That's just a part of human experience. It just happens. But we still apply it. We do these things in real time. We're not just on here just to talk and give you guys education and teach you guys these things. We apply it every day. if I tell you that I'm a discipline and confidence building coach, there's a reason why I'm doing that. It's because I've the shit that I've been through in life and the things that I've had to tackle on my own and come out on the other side and be positive and not quote unquote try to unalive myself because I've had that feeling before, right? Yeah, I got a lot of confidence. Some people think that shit's cocky as fuck, but guess what? There's a reason for that because I've actually done the work. I've put myself through the ringer.
And people
Okay.
who have done the work can recognize that. So stop playing games.
Yeah. I could tell if you're doing the work or not. I can. I could tell. Like I could tell if you're really bullshitting. I could tell, you know what I'm saying? If for example, when we're gonna actually do this a little later because I got some prize for you guys. Um, a lot of the time, a lot of the time, anybody that I'm either working with, coaching with, having a conversation with about growth won't be able to answer the basic questions. They can't even answer the basic questions, but you've been doing the work on yourself. Yeah, sure, okay. Um, that sounds good. But you can't even answer the basic questions, especially the question of what did you add to that situation.
The whole takeaway giveaway is a very important aspect.
No, I welcome it.
Are you talking about that bad word, accountability?
Ooh,
There we go. How many
yes, yes, sir.
accountability. This is a six-syllable word.
Hmm.
That might be too much for a lot of people too. You understand that why people don't take accountability because it has too many syllables.
Wow, not shots fired at the grammatical English.
Let's say that in English people don't know this. The
So,
amount of syllables tells you how many steps there are in the word.
I
no,
feel like the Oxford
I just got a
Dictionary just had to look
restriction,
up pain
guys.
because
I just got a restriction.
That's because of the
from
word.
what?
Because of that
Yeah.
word.
It says
Mm.
your live theme that may find uncomfortable. This has been restricted for reasons.
Of course, that is a word. Well, the truth when
Mm.
it's spoken, it is. And the truth is always in danger.
That was cute. It's okay. Still love you,
Yeah, the
TikTok.
truth, and it's funny, man, and you guys know I've done that as a personal development tool. I'm not even going to say a social experiment, but a personal development
Mr. Ward,
tool.
welcome in.
By just by just actively telling the truth, you'll find that most people don't have the capacity to deal with the truth.
So can
It's
you?
hard.
So real quick, for like 30 seconds, can everybody just tap the screen? Like
Yes, and
Yeah.
he very rarely adds that, so I'm going to second that. But listen, Grace, you made a good joke about the grammar, right? But the truth only has one syllable
Mm.
and most
And why
people
is that
can't
one
handle it.
syllable harder to accept than others, huh?
because
Hmm.
there's
And
nothing else to
especially
it. Because there's nothing else to it.
especially especially in self. Because
Right.
There's
when I say
nothing
speak the
else to
truth,
it.
guess who the most important person to tell the truth is?
Appreciate you guys.
Yourself.
Here we go.
Stop telling yourself things that aren't true.
So can we have a real conversation real quick? I know
Mm.
we're
Don't
having
we
one, right?
always?
I know
Don't
we're
we
having
always?
one, but I wanna be real with this real quick, right? And um, I really, 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 really want people to stop playing with their lives. Like honestly, honest to God, straight face, no jokes. Like really, really understand me when I'm saying this. Stop playing with your life. Okay? Nobody's responsible for anything that you put out there but you. But you. Period point blank. And that's just the hard truth, right? We're not gonna sit there and blame mom, blame dad, blame brother, blame sister, blame the ex, blame the wife, the fiance, the husband, the boss, right? A lot of the things that we put out in the world is you. And that's the hard truth. I know nobody wants to hear it. I know nobody wants to be like, Woe, everybody wants to do the woe me and be the boy who cried wolf or the girl who cried wolf. But honestly, everything that's put out in the world that has your signature on it, your tap on it, that was you.
Oh man.
And that's the God honest truth, right? We
Ooh.
it's easier to blame other people for the mistakes that you've made and the things that you've allowed on this planet versus being like, why did I allow it? What got me here to putting the negativity out? Or what got me here to being in a relationship for 7 years knowing that this person don't even love me? And you know what I'm saying? But I'm still here. What got me here? Why am I here? Why are you not focusing on you? Why are we not having these conversations, these mirror talks with ourselves to figure out why I'm so messed up? Whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in your confidence, whether it be in your awareness. Because with all our coaching, with all the collective disciplines within our community, the one thing that is the most important is your awareness. It's all important, but that awareness to know why, so that way you can start focusing on you, is important.
And this is why I think that this generation has it tougher. I'm going to show my age. Saturday morning cartoons, between the cartoons, there was always an excerpt that talked about dollar bills or the tax system. But there was a song that went like this: the most important person in the whole wide world is you, and you hardly even know you.
I remember that.
You old. I told you,
But
old.
I
You
remember
really
that.
old.
I remember.
You in
Listen,
this hair club for men. You really 60, bro. Tell me. That's right.
I remember that. I remember. You know what's crazy? A lot of y'all remember Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you
I
something.
was a father at that time.
Let me tell you. If you pay attention to everything that Mr. Feeney has taught us, right, of watching that show, everything was geared towards self.
Endless
Don't
gems
worry,
from that
I'll
guy.
wait.
Endless gems.
And it was gems. Don't worry, I'll wait.
You know
Go,
what's funny?
go, go type. Hold on, hold on. Go type Mr. Feeney's name on TikTok when you get out of here, and go listen to everything that he said.
Everything is about, yeah, you're right.
Everything he said was towards self. It
There's
was
always a
never.
men,
It
there's
was
always a mentor.
never ever towards the other person.
Yep.
Never. The way that he was so aware of everything, because he said it himself. He said he sees everything.
Sure. Well, you know what sucks, Pop? I'm gonna tell you something right now. One of the reasons why we can't think of ourselves is because
Wait, what did
somewhere
you do
along the
there? Hold on.
line, someone put a demise on our curiosity. Our curiosity
Yeah.
is very important because that's what allows us to continue down the path of learning. Some people that are overly curious, they're too much for other people because the other people will say, "Wow, you're always investigating. You're always digging deeper." Sometimes it's just on the surface. That's up to you.
Welcome in, Minnie.
If you're comfortable with things floating around, that means it doesn't carry any weight.
Yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
Yep.
now watch this. This is for you, Riz. Do
Good morning, boss
you know
queen.
what the prefix
What's up, Minnie?
Ho, you know what that prefix means?
LaQuay, welcome in.
You said H-O?
Yes, Ho, like honest.
Uh-huh.
You know what that prefix means? Anybody?
Hmm. Let him
Hmm.
have it.
All
Let him
right.
have it.
It means to pause.
Let me go get
It
some
it
water.
means
I'll
to
be back.
seize, to stop. Now, remember we look along the course of the line. Some of the catchphrases and some of the echo chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Fight or flight. Fight or flight. It's not about fight or flight. There's also something in between called freeze. But here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
flight has three levels. Fight has three levels. And freeze has three levels because it's not always freezing. There's also a pause, and then there's ice water.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze means you're frozen. Ice water You can still move. By the way, ice water is really good for you, but then you have that temporary pause. We have to learn the differences in how long to seize the activity. Is it a pause? Is it prudence that we're going to take 2 or 3 seconds to think before we speak? Is it going to be fluid where there's ice water involved, where, yeah, it's cold in here, but I can still move around? Or is it going to be frozen solid where it is what it is? You have done X your way out of this.
Right.
So then now we have fight, right? You could stay there and fight, but you could also backpedal and fight. Or you could stay there and fight, right? Which is part of the pause. You can fight going backwards, or you can fight going forwards, aggressive, right? But then you also have flight. Flight, are you running and not looking back? Or are you running and looking back? Or are you running backwards? There's 9 different things that came out of my curiosity because I wanted to go deeper into fight or flight because I wasn't satisfied. There has to be more options in that. You have to be flexible. So I don't know if I created it, but my curiosity allowed me to dig deeper and realize that there's 3 levels to fight, there's 3 levels to freeze, and there's 3 levels to flight. That's 9 different options.
Today, well, it's supposed to be a 1 year review, but we're doing
Venting versus vetting.
venting versus vetting.
And that's why I say that venting and vetting, you have to understand the different levels of flight, fight, and freeze. Because freeze means, if you look at the scientific freeze, the molecules are not moving.
Right.
In a gas, they're moving freely. In a solid structure, they're not moving freely, right? And in a liquid, they're fluid, right? They go with the flow. If you're looking at it scientifically. So the reason why I say this is, and again, the prefix whole and honest.
Did they take the share button out? I think they
I
did.
did the share.
Yeah.
We have to learn, just the same we have to learn how to say no, we have to learn when to stop. We have to learn how to say no to ourselves and stop. But how long do we stop? Is it a permanent stop? Is it a temporary stop? That's part of the vetting process.
But I think one of the things too is people need to know their capacity.
Yeah.
Because the one thing, and Hormiga and Rez can also contest to this. I'm not just gonna jump into a conversation with you. I gotta see where you at first.
Where you coming from, bitch?
Yeah, I gotta see where you at. I gotta see where you're coming from. Cause if me mentally at the moment can't take that conversation or be a part of that conversation, I'm not gonna do it. I'll let you know off rip. Like, listen, we can do that another time. Like, today is not the day for that for me. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know how deep I can go within a conversation and what I'm gonna provide. So, Jordan. So we're not letting anybody up yet. We're only doing the coaches for the time being. So,
Yes, fuck you. Hang in there.
yeah. So just stick around.
What, what I would like for people to understand is we're trying to help you guys. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We're trying to help you guys tell yourself what to do.
Yeah.
Autonomous thinking means that you do not have to be led or guided for everything that you do. You have to learn how to think independently. And what does it take? Motivation. What does it take? You see what I'm saying? It takes, and that's why I tell people before you come to me, talk to all the coaches first because they're going to give you the recipe, but we're going to cook. Me and you're going to cook it. That's what a transformation is, to put it in process.
It's a journey, right? It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of
I
work.
can't be the one to get you
No.
ready and see it through.
Right. You know, I think one of the important parts in that is that you said it takes the capacity, right? Um, you have to also know your
I
limits.
got you, babe.
You have to know your limits. You have to know how much you can really bear. Because if if you are allowing more than you can accept, it's not only self-destructive, but then you start to destroy things around you.
Mm,
So putting a full stop to something and saying, you know what, I did as much as I
good
could
morning, Coach
here.
Chris.
Well,
I did as much as I could here. I don't have the ability to do more than what I've done. That's knowing your limits and even dusting yourself off, recharging the batteries, and finding that extra gear the next day.
And you know what's the best part about this, guys? You don't have to do it alone.
that is a big myth that people don't.
I don't know where, I don't know where people have created this thought process that they have to do it alone. You can't.
Not there
It's
are
not
some
possible.
there are some things
It's
that you have to
it's
focus
it's a rare occasion where you go through your whole process alone and come out on the other side of it. You had some type of guidance, you had some type of conversation, you had something of external sources that gave you that push, even though we all have it within us, right? Even though we do all have it within us. But that push, that external push, if you don't have it, you got it from somewhere,
everybody's influenced by something.
right? You got it from somewhere. Whether it is a coach or a mentor or educator or a teacher or you know what I'm saying, or something. You might have heard a quote that hit you different and made you cry and realize I gotta get my shit together. You
You
know what
know,
I'm saying? Like,
that's wild because you could hear the same thing 10 different times, and sometimes it's the volume, the tone of voice, who said it,
hey
where
Lotus, I
it
see
came
you.
from, right? It depends on
Hmm.
so many different factors. If it hit you differently, it's because wherever or whoever or whatever is happening at that moment, even though you heard it 3 times, the reason why it hit differently,
Hmm.
this is something that you talk about a lot, Teddy.
Hmm.
You always say, if you've never been loved, what does that look like? You don't know, so you might not be able to accept it. You might not be able to receive love if you don't have ever seen it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Every time. And I
You
and
know,
go ahead,
it's
Chris.
interesting you say that too because it's like if if you know what it looks like, it's very very hard to confuse
The,
what everything else that isn't.
right. Morning, morning. What's going on, bro?
Welcome everybody that's coming in. We love it. Let's go.
So
Share the live. Let's go.
hold on. Cassie said something in the chat that was really dope. She said, you never truly do it alone because you learn from your past and every conversation you have. Absolutely. So, the one thing, too, right? So, Cassie, I agree with you 100%. But guess what? The past is also a lesson, and most people don't know how to learn a lesson. And that's the hard truth. The people have gone through so much things in life, right? But they missed the lesson.
La 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 la.
So are you saying that that becomes a pattern of behavior?
Hmm.
Hmm, interesting. What if they start to recognize their patterns? What is that?
Then they can't be ignorant to it.
You know what? You know the word. Once you identify your pattern, it becomes a what?
A habit.
It becomes a choice.
I didn't want to
You
say it out loud.
chose that thing.
That's your stuff.
Nah, the gloves are off now, right? We
Oh,
recapping, right?
the,
The
glo-
gloves
the
are off.
gloves are off.
The gloves are off.
So hold on
I
a
Right,
get
the
second.
gloves are off. So
welcome.
if we're
Okay,
if we're
hold on.
choosing those
Before
things,
you do that, right? Welcome to Monumental Unfiltered.
This is the year in review recap with a couple of bumps and bruises along the way. Here's the
Good morning,
problem
go
with
tell it.
habits. Here's the problem. People form habits because they feel that they don't have a choice.
mm,
Absolutely.
and then they assign the weight of their choice on someone else's hands.
But that's
It,
the whole autonomous thing I'm talking about.
I know.
are
I'm
we
I'm I'm full
talking
circle.
about breaking habits? Is that what
Ah,
we're talking about?
What was the
I know
breakup?
people get fixated. They get fixated on breaking generational curses, not realizing that they continue to hold them and give them life themselves. So before you break the generational curses in every single environment of your lineage, you first have to break them within. I'll go on mute.
mind you guys. So season 1, episode 4, breaking behavioral habits.
That
Yes,
wasn't just one. That wasn't one day.
that wasn't. That was like,
Because abusive habits become addictions.
yeah, yeah. Season 1, episode 4, guys. Breaking behavioral habits. We did that. When I'm telling you guys, I don't think you guys understand. We've tackled so many topics.
It's that
Like,
denial, right? That denial factor.
yeah, we tackled so many topics. It's insane. Like,
Here's another eye opener. If you think that you're doing it by yourself, if you don't involve anyone else, then what do you call that young child? You think that's not somebody else?
are you talking about the inner work, the inner child? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm saying in order for you to release yourself, right,
Miss
from the
Fearless, welcome
shackles,
in.
in order for you to release yourself from the
Thank you for the
shackles,
Harvey.
you got to go visit that inner child and tell that inner child wasn't their fault, right? So,
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
that inner child is the same person that you are now, then why do you got to go back and talk to them?
Are you talking about the shadow work? Is that what you're talking? Listen, all right. So, real quick, before we even dive into that, cause listen, if I don't know if Coach Derek is still here, but in regards to the shadow work, make sure you guys reach out to Coach Derek. Go take his assessment on his website. He does have a shadow work workshop in regards to that. So if we dive into this conversation, you're like, "What shadow work? I don't know what that is." Get, yeah, he's there.
That's the same people that think all totals are slow.
Yeah. So, um, just be mindful of that. He's coming up in a little bit though. He just said it in the chat. He's coming up. But what time is it? What we got? What we got for time
The,
right
the,
now?
the, the point
10:19.
is, the
Okay.
point is that when you visit that inner child,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a part of you, but that you are no longer that person because you have grown so much, whether you deflected,
Okay.
projected, whatever you want to call it, right?
Thank you, Ben. Yeah.
People feel like they grew out of that child
hmm
because they are in an adult body.
Wisdom, welcome in. Listen, the one thing I'm gonna tell you guys is this child of mine's that's here, not the ones that I've created, but the one that's within me, comes out every day.
Oh, he's welcome. He's welcome.
Every day. Okay. Um, outside of me being as serious as I am for the most part, I'm as I'm as childish as all hell on an
So,
everyday basis.
are you saying that
Yeah.
if you're doing this self work, then even in that within self, making best friends with the inner child, you're actually even exceptionally not alone?
No, never.
Hold up a
Never.
second. Let's give some people some definition here. The difference between alone and loneliness is that alone is a physical state and loneliness is an emotional state.
Yeah,
Oh, emotions.
that's good.
And look who comes up. Look who comes up right when I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
this. Now,
I
this is
got you.
Emotions can be a mother, right? Because I think
what timing? Holy cow, bro!
Brother man.
Hey, hey,
Hey, hey.
you can hear me, right?
Loud and clear.
The champ is here.
Loud and clear. It's been such a fucking roller coaster, man. Let me
Come on,
tell you
Billy.
guys. I don't think you guys realize the synergy in this room, yo. I don't think you guys realize it.
You're not
It's
gonna win here. You're not gonna win.
Listen, the one thing that I'm gonna tell you guys, right, outside of Riz, because Riz is still fairly new. Collectively, me, Hormiga, and Derek known each other for like a good 4 years. Like, we've known each other for a very long time, right? Everything that's this platform, because Monumental wasn't that back then. It was just a platform. We didn't even have a name. We didn't have a title. It was just us, just doing these shows and doing these lives. We've been doing this shit for a real fucking long time. Like, and I'm talking about a long time. It hasn't been without error. It hasn't been without trial, right? I met Hormiga, Dr. Anthony, and Derek within the same week. Within the,
Talk about culture shock.
right, within the same week. A lot of people don't know that, right? Because I don't really talk about it enough. But we gonna have a conversation today, right? I've met all three of them within the same week on different days collectively. It was insane. It was insane on how it even came about. Right. It was just I met Hormiga. He came up during a random live that we were doing, and then the following day, Derek came up at a random live that we were doing, and then the day after that, Dr. Anthony came up on a random live that we were doing. And shout out to Tamika for introducing me to Dr. Anthony because that's the reason why he popped in there in the first place. And then a week later, I got both Derek and Dr. Anthony on the same platform at the same time. And then me and Hormiga end up having conversation on the back end about doing this in real time, and we've been doing it going on April 13th is going to be 4 years that we've been doing this in real time on two separate pages. I might add you, two separate pages. We had the Monumental Lounge when we first started, and
The
that page,
lounge.
yeah, I still have that page. I haven't even got rid of it. It's still there. I just don't use it. Um,
Chaos.
yeah, chaos. When I'm telling you chaos, chaos, all of it, every last bit of it. It was like maybe what 200-300 people each live. It was chaos.
You see how
Dr. Anthony,
patience, you
we'll get
patience,
you acclimated with Dr. Anthony Go Talented. Um,
you
that
see how
same
patient
page,
this man is. Look at how
yeah,
patient this man is.
I'm just
hey, I love it. I want to give everybody their flowers because it's just like it's really been that long. Time flies. Like time flies. And we don't realize how time flies, right? And even though I've been doing this for as long as I've been doing this, right? Without them, I wouldn't even realize my purpose in what I'm doing because they made it possible with conversations that we've had on the back end and seeing the growth on all of us collectively, individually, right? It's been growth, nothing but growth. That page is also the page that I met Sweetie at. I met her in that page because she followed Horm. She was following Hormiga, and Hormiga came in, and then she came in right after Hormiga, and then we end up actually jumping on a panel all together on a separate day, and then I shot my shot. I did, and it landed.
And then you
You know what I'm
didn't
saying?
even tell me, so
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And shout out to Venus too, because I actually met Venus on that page as well. I met all of you guys on that page actually. To think about it, every last coach or mentor that I've ever had a conversation with or we've collabed, I met on that page. Outside of the people that you guys don't even know about yet, right? Because they're doing their own individual thing. And shout out to Sonia Renee, right? Because that was another person me and Derek collabed with a lot. She's doing her own thing with her acting and stuff like that. She's moving around and doing big things. Dr. Anthony, for he actually wanted me to go on tour with him, but I don't feel like I was ready at the time. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. That's not happening. But and then we ran across Venus, and we all end up being on a live together. It was all four of us on the live on that other page. We've been doing this in real time. Like the synergy's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give it to Derek real quick. Go ahead, bro.
yeah. I don't know. If, hold on. Can you hear me still?
Yeah,
It sounds
heck
weird.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. This has been interesting how all of the parts almost kind of like a spider web, like
Mm-hmm.
everything connected. But it's almost kind of a testament to individually the energies and the types of people that we surround ourselves that they fit into it like this. Because it could have went a different way. There's so many different personalities out here in the universe, and especially on TikTok, where you know I may know, let's say for an example, I may know Hormiga. Then Hormiga comes in here and then he gels with you, and then you gel with Venus, and I already knew Venus, and so it's like all of these people who have similar goals for what we do, similar kind of, there's nobody out here doing like, well, I don't know, maybe Hormiga, ain't nobody out here doing nothing crazy, but but it's and then and then I meet somebody like a Riz, and then I kind of like I'm listening to him talking. I'm like, I get this dude. A lot of people might not, but I understand him,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So it's just it's all love, man. I love it here, and shout out to Coach Tanya because I was in my own bubble, which is why when you initially came to me about like we should do something together, and I was like, no, I'm not. I got too much going on, and then Tanya was like, yo, you need to go back and revisit and go check them out because that I think that's where you at right now. I think you fit. And I was like, but I'm doing stuff. And she was like, no, the places where you at right now, you need to go. And that's what made me go back and join the Discord and do all of that other kind of stuff. So shout out to Coach Tanya because
Appreciate you, T.
she be saying stuff I don't see. she be
And I
like,
love
wait.
that.
She be like, wait, bro. But we need people like that in our lives. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
All right, Lotus. Oh, Lord, appreciate you. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
we can't all be stiffies. You know what I'm
no.
saying?
Right.
Listen, Monumental wouldn't even be what it is if I was being a stiff, right? It wouldn't be what it is now. If I was like, no, I just want to do this on my own. I don't want to collab with nobody. I'm good. I don't want to do that. I'm okay. No, listen. I seen my biggest thing for Monumental was being bigger than the platform, right? Not being bigger than the platform. I didn't want it to be that because I wanted to be able to collectively put something together where everybody can get knowledge. We have so much knowledge, wealth of knowledge, and everybody collectively, right? But individually, the wealth of knowledge that came into the platform alone, right? Because we did the work. On top of doing the work, we got our own set style of coaching. We have our own set of information that we can provide. That was one of the things. That was one of the things that made it work, because everybody has their own, right? It wasn't just random. None of it was random. Everybody had something to bring to the table. And the reason why most of the time this doesn't work is because everybody is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing, but we have our different disciplines, right? We're all coaching. We're all wanting to help you guys. We all want you to be better, right? But we have our own disciplines. So we focus on our own disciplines. We're not focusing on what Hormiga does. I don't focus on what Derek does or Riz does or
Don't do
Venus
that.
or Tanya. I'm not doing none of that, right? I'm staying in my lane because, first of all, half of the people don't even want to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because just imagine on having to work with somebody that has everything, but doesn't know how to apply it.
Now watch this. In
That's a
this
spider
order,
web on its own.
watch this in this order, right? In this order,
Hey, Auntie.
Starting with Derek, and then Riz, and then you, Teddy. Watch this. I'm gonna
Okay.
show how to take something unrelated and make it relatable.
Yeah.
ShopRite has a sale, 4 for $4. Palmolive dishwashing soap. Anthony, what are you talking about? Okay, there are people that buy the dollar store dishwashing liquid, and that's a lot more than this. But all this takes is a little bit to do a better job than a glob of the dollar store cleanser. Now, the analogy is sometimes less is more. So you get a lot more out of a smaller bottle than you do to the big one. Go ahead, Derek, touch on that.
What the hell? How you go? What?
That be that bullshit. That be that bullshit.
Less is more. This is a highly concentrated product. Now, we got to equate that to life. This is a highly concentrated and more effective product in a smaller bottle.
Nope, I got exactly where he was going with that.
Well, why don't you go first, bro? 'Cause
Yeah,
I,
go
got,
first.
He was like, okay, Derek,
exactly.
start.
I got exactly. It's so simple, and it's such a great plain analogy, right? Because it's a household cleaner that we all use. So that's why he said keyword was make it relatable, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So let's start there. The premise of it all is it's quality over quantity.
Now go ahead, Derek, since he gave you the segue.
That's because I got your
It's
back,
not that I
Derek.
couldn't answer it, but
I
he was
got your
like,
back.
"All right, I'm done. Okay, Derek, now go." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait, wait."
I got your back, bro. I got your back. I see what he was doing.
Let's go. What?
Yeah, I think so. To piggyback on on the analogy, I think a lot of times we consume ourselves with what we believe is the solution to the things in our lives. And so we do a lot of erroneous things that we think will work and based on like external validation, and the concentration is within self. That's why we have to work on. There's more power in you being aware, or Venus mastering yourself, than there could ever be from the external stuff that you think, and that's where you spread it wide, right? You're spreading wide versus concentrating, right? So when you do that widespread, you don't even really feel the need to be accountable and all the other things that we want to, because you're functioning. But the key here to what we all do, it's not good enough just to function. We got to explore and go deeper so that we can realize and actualize the greatness within us. That's the concentrate.
Yeah.
So there, how's that?
I'm out. Well, all right. So what I got out of that is that being functional is bare minimum. That's number
Yes,
one.
absolutely.
Now, Teddy, mind you, that I used to be one of those people that used to go to the dollar store and get that big ass shit of cleanser that doesn't work. And I had to learn how to use something of more quality where less is more.
I think one of the things for me, right, and this I can only speak for me in my experience, is realizing when I was doing too much and I wasn't doing enough,
Ooh.
right? So when it came to trying to figure me out, right, and Derek can contest to this because he's an empath, we have a lot of squirrel moments. We have a lot of squirrel moments, but we also have moments of overthinking where we're just like going all over the place. It's literally like a spider web if you really think about it. It's just like
Does it also make that noise though?
it does. It does. In my head, it does.
I want to know what kind of noise that is.
But it's just like it just feels like you're just everything is just racing, right? It's just like, and then I had to. There was just one day I just sat down and I just breathed. I just took a deep breath and I was just like, whew. And I was like, I need to slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
like I just need to slow down because I'm doing too much. But nothing is getting solved. Nothing's getting solved. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at this. Oh, this could work. That could work. Maybe that works. But I'm not trying none of it. Right? And then when I finally found that one thing that was quality, right? That was quality. It made me slow down.
You see what we can learn from dishwashing liquid?
I can't stand you.
I'm saying that if you take the time, to have fun with it.
Thank you.
For people to learn when they're more comfortable. We're having fun with it, but there's somebody in this chat saying, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, no. Facts. The only reason why we can have fun with it because we actually went through the process.
Yeah,
We went through the process.
I don't use. Not only does that big detergent take up a lot of space when you try to store it, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me when I tell you, a couple of drops of this does a lot more than a glob of the other 99 cents unquality, stuff.
And the reason why we could laugh about it, guys, is because we went through it. Trust me, when we were going through it, we weren't laughing. There was no laughing involved. There was a lot of tears.
And you know what? There's even parts of the process that we are still going through.
And
Yes.
Right.
we will always go through
We
it.
are still going through it, right? We're still figuring it out. We're still using these things and applying them because we've been building our well of wisdom and taking buckets and buckets out of each other's wells, and it becomes this, like you guys said, like the synergy of it, right? What I like to call it, because I'm the newest one in. what I like to view it as a synchronicity, right?
Yeah.
Being the person that I am, doing the things that I do, I was drawing that energy to me, as Venus would say, right?
Yeah.
When you use that heart magnet to draw those things to you, there's no way that the meeting of the mind, so to speak, happens without being that person. And you have to, and I'll agree with spiritual that you have to embody that stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To be stillness, you have to practice stillness. And
Yeah.
I say this to a lot of people, like, you want peace, but you don't know how to sit for 15 minutes and just do some breath work
Hmm.
and just sit there and meditate and sit there and hold space
Yeah.
for yourself.
All right. Yeah. So real quick, right? Um, can because every time I try to share it, things start acting haywire. So I'm not even gonna attempt it. If somebody can share the live to Tamika and PBR
Yes, I
and
did.
Frosty,
I already. I shared it to PBR, but you're more welcome to share it to somebody else.
yeah, if y'all can share it to those three, I think they're the only three that's missing right now that's
Yeah.
in here. Because I do have something to give you guys. Or show you guys. Well, give you guys. I'm gonna need y'all emails and stuff like that so we can send it out.
I got.
But
I
I
always
got.
accept cash.
Hey, Cassius
I ain't got that for you, but I got something else.
I got another pivotal. I got another pivotal
Asia
question,
Kind,
a
welcome
little
in.
bit more advanced than the.
More advanced?
Yeah, I took something of every day and try to make an analogy, but I'm going to give you something that's going to touch you a little bit differently.
Oh, so you're saying it's more concentrated. Gotcha. Let's go.
Listen,
That
do
was
not, do
smooth.
not, do not make me put on my Venus glasses. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you right now. Are you understanding me or what?
Thank you, Lala.
Listen, here's the question. In the process of your healing, right? When we
Yeah.
actually started healing, because we thought in the beginning we were healing, but we really weren't, right? We were curbing it, playing with it. But when we really started healing, when did you first start asking yourself why you don't like certain things? Like, in other words, somebody would say, "Hey, you like this?" Nah, I don't like it. But do you really don't like it, or is it because you were triggered not to like it? Did you ever ask yourself why you don't like certain things?
I'll give you I'll give you a quick story on when this happened. I was in the car with one of my peoples with one of my boys, and we just normal day, right? Just taking a ride, whatever, right? Normal day. And he said something to me because he noticed some girl on the side, right? Mind you, we're both in relationships at the time, so it's just like, cool. So he said something to me, and then he just, yeah, it was just out of sight, out of mind. And I looked at him, and then he looked at the girl. He was like, "Damn." I was like, "No." Like the first, because the second he said it, I could immediately know where he was going with that, right? Without even him saying anything. But I know me because I used to be that same type of person, and I'm just like, I just said no. He was like, I didn't even say nothing. I said, you didn't have to. I was like, you didn't have to. I said, that's what we're not gonna do. I was like, I said, that's what we're not gonna do. I said, keep it moving, keep driving, just keep driving, cause first of all, you're not gonna get me caught up. Your girl's crazy. She's not aware of how crazy she is. So let's not do that. So my thing is, right, for the one, because if anybody knows me, I don't condone cheating or nothing like that. Even if you're thinking about it, it's a problem for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna vocalize it every time, no matter who you are. So if you're in the car with me, if we're in close proximity and you're doing that, yeah, you're gonna hear it because there's no way. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that made me realize that I've changed because back then, if my people were doing something like that, I wouldn't even say nothing. I would just act like it was whatever, right? And just keep it moving. But now it's like, nah, we're not doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a better way. And a better way is making sure that we both go home alive. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
man.
so let's not do that. Cause listen, Listen, Derek got stories. I got stories too. Trust me.
I gotta.
I'm looking for it, Derek. Talk to me. Talk to me about the time when you started realizing that you really had no reason to dislike something, and then you realize that it came from an exterior source or a past experience. Usually, true.
Um, I did the what's the word I want to use? Pretending to like stuff for so long, and it was so normal. I didn't know to say no or to even know what I liked until I think an event must have happened to make me sit down and heal. so
I love it.
so when I sat with myself, I realized that most of the behavior that I was doing was really like pandering, right? Like pandering to say I wanted or like something to get the other person to kind of meet me closer so that I can acquire the energy or whatever to make me have to work on my stuff. And so when I made the decision to kind of just stop and like really like look for the search for the why, and this was the beginning of what I would now call the healing journey. But when I started to start actualizing what I was doing, all of the stuff that I accepted, all of the pandering I did, it stunk. Like it didn't even that my eyes were different, like my palette was different, my type was different, my everything. And so all of these. So when I realized this, when you reintegrate yourself back into society, right? Then you look at those things and you're like, ew. No, I can say no now. Like what? Like she's cute, but I can feel the energy now. Like I'm like I don't know where that's going. I got the number, but I'm not going to call it. Something's not right. I never did that before. I just acquired it. I acquired it all, and I didn't care because I didn't have to look at me. So I needed a constant influx of energy, whether it was one person or whether it was one and the next one and the next one. I needed to not focus on Derek. So when I made the decision to focus on Derek, I got to see the world from my real self, whether that's whatever, all of that. So I was just like, I don't really like this stuff. What do I like? And then you know what happens to most of us when you ask
Thank you
yourself,
for
what
the
do you
follow.
like? You don't have an answer
Right.
because you never focused on it. It's all everybody else's stuff that you kind of hijacked.
Yeah.
Well, before Riz jumps in, we talk about it's very difficult to ask the right question, right? It's not more about the why, because when you get in contact or bump into the "it is what it is" factor, that why is not as important as the where. Where
Yeah.
did it come from? Not the
Yeah.
why, because we'll sit there and break our heads all day to try to figure out why, but we need to find out the source.
Yeah.
The source is not the why.
Yeah.
The why is your inability to understand something, but it's where it came from, where it originated. Before you
Yeah.
ask why, ask where.
Yeah. When I figured out the where and I was a little kid, then I replayed my life over and I was like, oh yeah, it's still there. It's still, oh my God, it's still there. And I was like, and after that, you can't unsee it. Now you got to go back out in the world. You can't unsee it now. You're like, wait, I'm doing this and it comes from here and I can't, if I do it again, the results are probably going to look the same. I can't pick this. I can't do. And now you, now you like this whole like rebirth. And now you have to go out in the world, and this is what they, what people say that have healed, or even coaches, they'll tell you. People think that when you become this more healed version of yourself, that everything's just going to be bliss, but it's almost harder because now you can't attach to the comforts that you thought. Now you have to say no. So we would aspire to be a more healed, more actualized version of ourselves, but there's some interesting things that come along with that because now you you have to move in a more organic way, and you're not gonna life ain't gonna be so peachy when you're moving different. But when you move different, you move better. But better doesn't mean there's going to be less obstacles or less things you have to go through. You're still going to have to go through things, but
Now
you're
we're
going.
talking about
Yeah,
quality versus quantity. And before Riz puts a hole in this conversation, Teddy, what do we talk about ignorance? You could only be ignorant.
Once. In the moment you recognize it, it's a choice.
That's what he just said in a more eloquent fashion. He said, "You cannot unsee what you saw. You could play it off if you want. Ask somebody."
Listen,
Get Riz.
hey
Absolutely.
Katie.
That's the very first pillar of awareness, right? Is not being able to unsee everything that you now know. For me, I would say it started when I recognized karma, and that was when I had my daughter. And for those of you that don't know me, she had a very serious anomaly of a heart complication that caused a catheter procedure and 2 open heart surgeries. She's now not even 5 yet. For me to reflect in that moment, as nerve wracking as that is as a parent, right? You want to protect your kids at all costs. The first question I asked myself was, "Fuck, why didn't I become a heart surgeon?" Because then I would have been able to trust me to do the job. Because you want to protect your own kid.
That's interesting.
But it was in that moment that I had to reflect on: is it possible that the things that I've done wrong in this world, is it possible that I caused this?
Right.
And that was it. That was it for me. That was the moment where I stopped lying to myself. That was the moment that I really put me under the microscope to figure out who I actually was. Did I just attach myself to things I liked? Did I just attach myself to things that were familiar or genetic or learned? And what part of it was me? And even the tougher question, I wrote that in the book, even the tougher question was I ever really truly present? Was it even me that was here this whole time? Or was it something else entirely? And that is a very, very wonderfully frightening thought, to know that all the things that you've ever done and all the things that you experienced probably wasn't even your real self through any of it.
That's deep.
So what
Absolutely.
what
Absolutely.
is that denial or not knowing the origin?
That is right back to the beginning. It's not even being awake. You have to confront the idea as a monolith as it is, to say, I have been asleep this entire time. No matter how many years you went before you woke up, you have to acknowledge that you were on autopilot the entire time. And once you take your hands on the wheel, then you got to realize, well, shit, I was on cruise control. Do I even know how to brake and gas? Do I even know how to control the wheel? Can I signal? Can I turn properly? Do I know the road signs? How do I drive this machine?
Right.
You know what it was for me up to a point, and I think it largely like how I was raised or whatever. When I was doing all of the stuff that didn't serve me, it was almost kind of like that inner me was watching the behavior and couldn't stop it. You know what I mean? Like
It's
I
like,
knew better, but the other stuff was so normalized that I couldn't almost stop myself because I needed whatever it was. I felt like I needed the validation. I needed to feel not by myself. I needed, and so on the inside, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? No, we got to do it. You know you need to sit at home. No, we don't. You know you worked a 12-hour day. No, I have to go to the club because I don't have anyone to talk to. Let me go get a number. I literally could not stop it at a point until I did.
that's right. That's
And
real.
when you realize that you're not even behaving in your true nature, and you can't, almost like you feel like you can't stop doing it because of whatever the motives
Vulnerable.
behind it are. When you break out of that, like I said, your vision changes because now you're looking with your real eyes and not the trauma eyes,
Yeah.
right? It's life changing. That's why a lot of times when people when they go through the work or whatever, like a lot of people who do like my shadow work thing, and they're like, oh my god, like oh my god, I'm not only did I get modeled this thing that made me be, try to mimic or normalize certain behaviors, but I'm doing the same thing to my kid right now, and I didn't know it until I read this, and I'm like, yeah, this is why one of the many reasons why we need to sit down and heal.
Absolutely.
We have to, because if we don't break it, it's going to continue, and we don't even realize it. We see these little kids, and we're like, "Oh, so cute," and then when they grow up, you be like, "Damn it, I did
That's
that."
that's why the hamster wheel and cultural curses are one and the same. Because the reason why our we keep these cultural curses going is because we refuse to step off the hamster wheel.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Out.
So before we go any deeper, right? Because we
Wait,
can
there's
have
deeper.
we can
Let's start, baby. Let's start.
we can have this conversation for hours.
For 4 years.
Honestly, listen. Um, I need to have Adori, Sun LT in the box because I think they're the only two here right now in regards to this. So I need them two in the box. I need, if Venus or if you're still there, I need you in the box as well.
All right, I'm not gonna hold up the rest of the live. I'm gonna create space for everyone else that needs to be here. I
Stick
love and
around.
appreciate all of y'all.
Definitely stick around though.
I'm gonna try. I got a couple of things to do in real time, so
Okay.
let me get to things and I'll be back.
All right. Cool.
Thank you
Cool.
for your service, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Adori, if you can come up, if it's possible, just let me know. Um, I don't think Frosty's here, and I don't think Sierra's here, so I wouldn't be able to do that for them. Okay. Um, Before I continue, I want to kind of give you guys the floor because you guys are the OGs of the Discord, the people that's been here longer than most, right? So I want you guys to give your kind of a testimony, right, on how this year has been for you since you've been a part of the community, and what does it look like for the people that are new, right, and the people that will come with the coming year. Just explain, just show us, just let us know how you feeling as since you've joined. Um,
No pressure, right?
no pressure,
Never, never.
none.
So if it's okay, Adori, I'll go first.
Yeah, I think she's gonna. Yeah, go ahead, take the floor.
Okay, so originally I ran across one of your lives going through a bunch of mess, like I was a mess, and wanted to heal, wanted to know more, wanted to learn. And so, I messaged you, became part of the Discord, and it's been a journey. It's been a trip, but
Absolutely.
it's been a good trip because now being on the other side of some of it, because I'm not completely done. Don't get me wrong. It feels great. I have noticed in myself, because I evaluate myself, that I have changed for the better. Some things that I would have done in the past, in relationship wise, or being out here outside, as Coach Derek says it, um, not that person anymore. And also, I actually have tested myself. So I don't just evaluate myself, I test myself, because that's just me. And recently, the one thing I put in the Discord, I am grateful for this community because I was able to pass that test
Hmm.
with flying colors. I am able to not let emotions control my decisions.
Love that. Love
So, I mean, I'm not going to give you the example, but the example was testing.
that. I
Um,
love that. I love that. That's
but
great.
I'm
To hear
so
the
grateful for
journey.
y'all. I mean, you really don't know. It would have been a different outcome, and it would not have been good.
Right. But that comes from the one thing I know me and her had a huge conversation about was emotional regulation.
Yeah.
Right. She's done a lot of work. And I do call her my superstar because since day one, she's kinda like Tanya to Derek, right? she's been on go since day one. Like it hasn't been any moment of stopping, right? To the point where I had to tell her to slow down.
Until you made me.
Right? I had to tell her to slow down because she was on go 24/7. And she was just wanting to grow, wanting to learn, wanting more, wanting more, wanting more. And I was like, slow
Wanting to heal.
down. Yeah, I'm like, take a break and apply it because you've done a lot of work. And she
Yeah,
took that break, she applied it, and she was like, it feels good now because I took that moment to apply it. When we
it
talk
does.
about not having when we talk about having all the information but doing nothing with it, that's what it was. That's what was happening. She was doing everything, but she was doing nothing with it. So that's why I told her to slow down. And once she slowed down and really took the time and really applied it, and she came back in our other one-on-one, it says, "I'm good now. I feel good." That's how I know she did the work because her
Yes.
energy was different. Everything about her was different when she came back. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't through the anxiety wasn't there. Like she wasn't running rampant. Like you know what I'm saying? It was just like just a whole different energy. So
And it
that's how I
was.
know.
I could
That's how
feel
I
it.
knew. Yeah.
Like I could feel it. And everybody, they're all right. All the coaches are right. Number one, it takes accountability. You've got to look at yourself because if you don't, then and you don't change yourself, then nobody else is going to see you differently, and they're going to keep on treating you the way you were instead of the way you are.
Mm, absolutely.
What,
Okay.
Maybe maybe
one
try a
thing,
little bit.
one thing I will share is that you can tell in her voice the authenticity of what she's saying. And here's the catch. Emotions need to be regulated. And you keep saying the same thing, but Derek, isn't it about the speed that you choose? Because sometimes we're going too fast, sometimes we don't have the right sense of urgency, right?
Hmm.
So regulation is noticing when you're not putting enough into something or you're putting too much into something.
Hmm.
And that's important. Right or wrong, son LT, what would you say about that?
Oh yeah, it's important because I mean, it also creates anxiety. I was taking all this information and taking and reading and studying and writing, journaling, and I'm like, well, okay, well, this is not really getting me anywhere. So now I need to slow down and start applying it in my life in order to, for it to be productive.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the
Yeah,
mic is
there's
off.
a lot of people out here that have even more information than us. They can spit it out in perfect vernacular and everything. But then when you look at how they're still behaving, it's the
Hmm.
opposite. Like
Yeah.
they go on all the podcasts, they listen to the YouTubes, they write the notes down, but without the application, it's just information. Like it's cool to have it, but you're still making those toxic decisions outside of it, and
Hmm.
it doesn't like you even see this in professionals like doctors and not even just therapists, just people who do things for a living to teach and train other people. But then when you look at their lives, the doctors eating McDonald's every day. They're doing all of the stuff that's opposite of what they went to school for and how they tell you to do and to move. And it's like you're gonna be in here with the patient in a minute. You keep doing that, and then
Right.
it's like, well, they have we have the information, but if you don't apply it, it's not really healing, is it? It's kind of just like you're marking time, as my mom says. I'm like, oh, that's a marching band analogy. I get it. So, so, but yeah, that's what she's saying is true. Like you have to put it into action, and you have to be about it. You have to. And I will say this, as far as Lala goes, I haven't known you a long time, but if you look up "hungry for knowledge" in the dictionary, this is her face is there. she
Thank
she
you.
Absolutely.
she greeted for it, and I will say as a
Absolutely.
testament to Emmanuel be realizing himself as a confidence coach. Example A, because when I first got in the Discord, he was like, Lala wouldn't even put up her picture on her thing, and
Nope.
now she's jumping up here on these panels and she's doing it. You're doing it.
I'm just
Thank you.
saying.
I appreciate you.
I'm just saying, and I test her all the time too. That's the thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
if it's anybody that I'm coaching that I'm gonna test is her because she asks all the questions, all of it, right? Even if it's not a one on one and she just needs to know something, she'll ask the question. If she's done something or accomplished something, she'll let me know what she's done. If it's something that made her feel like she was gonna fall short, she'll message me about it and be like, "But this is what I did," and I'm like, "Love it." Like I love all of it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it just gets me excited because it's just like, yes, right?
And I'm not perfect. I mean, I have felt
Nobody
short.
is.
I
Nobody
mean,
is.
Coach Emmanuel can attest to this, especially with the boundary. With my daughter, I definitely fell short. Oh, that was sad.
That was huge. That was a big feat, right? For her to face because it's your child. Like you know what I'm saying? Like how do you combat that? Like, but she did it, so it's possible,
Yeah,
right? It is. It's possible, but it doesn't. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of pain, a lot of fighting with yourself mainly,
yeah,
and just understanding that as adults, children, right? Talking to children. Hi, you're an adult, right? You got to give your parents some space so that way they can also have a life.
yeah.
You're no longer their responsibility when you become adults.
Man, where's Coach Tanya? I need Coach Tanya to come up here too soon because she need to come up here because we gotta. I got a
Hmm.
couple choice words.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you
No,
can,
absolutely.
Tanya, if you're still here,
Yeah,
two
definitely, Tanya,
minutes.
come up. Um,
Can I
and
say one
then
more thing?
yeah, go for it.
So my favorite saying is, you heard from most of you all, is that you can make your choices, but you cannot choose your consequences. So
Absolutely. Hey, sis.
you have
Good
to be
morning. Good
prepared for those
Morning.
consequences. Hey,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So before we let Adori go ahead, Coach.
No, I just the reason why I wanted it's a couple of reasons why I wanted her up here. Number one, when we talk about Lala's hunger, this is the 1.0 version because she when I tell you it's got to be a year. Is it two?
It's
Is it
going
two?
on 2 years
2 years,
now.
right? When I tell you relentless, never stopping, Lala's energy reminds me of how she was when she met me. She didn't miss a thing. She did not miss a thing. She was always there. She always wanted more, and she was determined to be better. And now on the other side of it, she's a coach in her own right, and I'm super proud. Like we really, when you say people who are coachable, these people up here on this panel right now, coachable. If you're not coachable, you're not willing to receive the information and apply it. You're always going to keep complaining about stuff all the time. And who wants to do that? Like we're not 18 anymore. It's time to inspire change. And I really appreciate you, not just as a client, but as a friend, because when I tell you when I need to be checked, she'd be like, coach, not no, you don't need to be there.
I love
Go
it.
somewhere else.
I send that text out and say, "You got a few minutes?"
Listen, you know when that text pops up, it's a conversation needing to be had.
Yeah. So
Like,
real quick, I want Tanya to tell people like a very like brief
just zoom in like
like like the process of healing. Like how has it been for you?
In the beginning, it was extremely difficult because I still had outside people around me that weren't really here for my change. And once I got down and really started putting in the work behind it, and I heard this earlier about getting rid of people, I didn't have to get rid of anybody. They started dropping like flies.
I love that.
And once that happened, it kind of opens your heart and your eyes to see that they didn't really mean you any good anyway, or your paths have come to an end, have come to a dead end. And it just made me want to see more. It felt freeing. I wasn't having panic attacks anymore. I wasn't having anxiety anymore. I came off the anxiety medication, um, and start putting myself first and what I needed first allowed me to see what my purpose was, because I was always taking on things for everybody else and not taking myself serious and being more aware in what I wanted to do. And now it's amazing.
I love it.
I love it. I can say no and not have a problem with it. I have very clear boundaries. I issue out consequences if those boundaries are crossed in any way. And it's become a lot easier for people to, what I always tell Derek is, they don't play in my face anymore like they used to. And it's an awesome feeling, and my relationships with people are different, and I love it.
We still need our graduation T-shirt.
Sure do.
I know, my bad. He sent me a draft, and I never said yay or nay. I gotta get back to it. My bad. We gonna get you together though. But look, before we let Adore go, I want you to tell people what you do now as a coach. Because let me tell y'all something. That same energy that she had when she was getting coached, she's pouring all of that and then some into what she's doing now. And I tell you, I'm like,
I got you, Lala.
I don't have this level of what she's doing right now. Go ahead and let them know what you do, and then we can pass the mic.
All right. I am Coach Tanya B. I am a nutritional health and wellness coach. I am certified. I just recently created my website, which will be going live January 1st of 2025.
Let's go.
It will contain workshops. It will contain, you'll have the ability to do one-on-one nutritional wellness training with me. I'm also creating virtual cooking sessions for groups. I have a cookbook coming out in 2025. I have Nutritional Basics with Tanya B coming out in 2025.
Let's go.
And a nutritional journal and tracker that I will be holding you account. If you work with me, I will be holding you accountable.
Is that bad word again?
And I will, Coach Emmanuel just turned me on to a new class, and I am going to be certified for meal planning and nutritional for children with sensory processing issues.
Let's
And that is my agenda for 2025. I still be coaching for my new mental, and I'm excited and looking forward to what we got going on in the new year.
We're looking forward to seeing you live.
Yes, we are.
Yep, we're gonna hold you accountable for that. I'm just gonna say
Yes, we are.
yeah, we are.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we
do
got
it.
your back.
We got you though. You already know that.
I
But
can do it.
congratulations to all of that. We're
Thank you,
excited.
and I appreciate you more than probably anybody else ever will, because I've seen we've been through some things, so
And I
I
want
look
to say
forward to.
thank you, because going through all of the processes with the shadow work, again, I went to him when he was strictly a relationship coach. So I got the healing coach stuff on the back end.
Right.
And he and I had this conversation. If it was switched when I first started, I'd have took off a year ago. But going through all of his classes, it empowered me to find my purpose. And that's when I started on something I had a passion for and loved to do, and it
What's
just
good,
felt
Dana?
right and it fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Coach Derek. I appreciate you.
Always.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so proud of you. Like, I know you've been working on a back end. Like, you've been kind of quiet. So we're
She's a
just
damn
like,
machine, man. She's a machine.
yeah, like she's working, but she's like quiet. Like,
I have overexerted myself. I got the flu,
yeah,
and still trying to get everything done and still working 9 to 5. But I pushed through. I'm feeling better, and I'm here for all of it.
listen, We can't wait. 2025 is about to be your year. Okay, so embrace it,
It is my
accept
year.
it.
It's
It
not gonna
is.
be. It is.
Listen, the
It
year of
already
Tanya B.
is.
We're gonna have a plaque that says the year of Tanya B. Boom. That's it.
I'm excited. I'm here for it.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. A lot of collaborations coming in 2025. I promise you guys. Y'all haven't even seen the half of it.
All
And
right.
so we'll give
Now,
Adore the floor.
Yep.
Let me take you out the big box. 1 second. My thing zoomed in randomly. I don't know why I did that. That was kind of weird. Adore, go for
Sure. Well, I want to thank all the coaches, of course, and of course, I want to thank Sweet Tea. If it wasn't for her sharing me your live, I don't think I would have. I probably would have found you eventually with her being in the boxes, but I probably wouldn't have been more engaged as I am now. Honestly, I feel like your panel your lives compared to other quote unquote mental health lives I've seen has been more effective towards me. Like, there's no one in the box arguing constantly. And I felt like, okay, I hope it's not one of those lives where everybody's just arguing about what mental health really is or anything like that. So, of course, when Sweet Tea was like, hey, you want to join the Discord? I was like, all right, cool, let me dibble dabble, test the waters before I really decide, like, do I really want to continue with this? And I know, of course, as you know, Coach, I was
it.
quiet. I just listen.
Absolutely.
I take a little notes,
Absolutely.
but I'm quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, our first one-on-one, I wrote down a lot of notes. I was like, man, this is my main concern right here. This is what I feel like I need to work on because I'm always drained out. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. Felt like I didn't have enough time for my kids because I always needed a nap. So that was my first thing to work on. And you helped me, write things down, put things in order of what I need to prioritize. And even then, with me still working on everything, you didn't introduce me to Coach Mika. And I felt like that changed everything. That right there changed everything for my sleeping habits. But no, each coach that spoke or had their lives individually, I realized, hey, I also need to work on this. This is a good thing that we have like all these different coaches in the Mind Your Mental Discord because they literally could help you with little bits of information, no matter what they speak about in their own lives or the Saturday morning lives. But no, you guys really helped me with my sleeping schedule. I know outside of the main Discord, I've asked Coach like a couple of things, like, hey, do we have boundary books for kids? I need to help my kids with this, maybe like at least get them started. Like I've asked Coach little questions to like help me out just so I can like try to incorporate my kids with what I'm doing. But with the boundaries book, my kids and I go over it. I found a positive affirmations book for my kids. I like started doing little things just to help them out so
Right.
they could like kind of grow with me. My son will be in middle school next year. My daughter's going to be a fifth grader. So I was like, these little things, they help out a lot.
Right.
Going to Coach Derek's lives, I'm like, man, oh my goodness, this is something I need to work on. And even though he says he's been through it, I'm like, man, I need to kind of change my actions too, because I still have a little bit of these to work on. Coach Riz's lives, I'm like, okay, I'm aware of all the coaches and what they teach. And I love that. Yes, I am still taking my baby steps on where I'm going to next, even though I know Coach Derek is probably like my main focus to where I need to go next right now. But each coach definitely taught me something different, whether or not it was their own lives or just being here Saturday mornings.
Right.
Taking my notes, that's just how I learn. I'm a visual learner and I like reading my notes. Even when it came to our one-on-ones, Coach, I wrote everything down, then I repeated to you everything like, hey, we went over this and
Yep.
this
Yep.
is what I'm going to work on right here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
But
yeah, it's been interesting, right? It's been interesting because even though I've been doing the platform for 4 years, right, going on 4 years, my coaching is still fresh. All of this is still fresh to me, right? But with my experience and my level of empathy and my 15 years of customer service experience, like that's what really geared all that, right? For me is to because I love people. Like I'm able to communicate with people and talk to people and actually see what the issue is. I can catch it because I've been doing customer service for so long that I can catch it, right? Just to give a quick experience on my background, I worked in the fraud department for a bank, so know how to catch everything. I can catch everything. So it's like when somebody's telling me that they're working on something or they're doing something, I could tell if you're lying or not. You know what I'm saying? I can catch it. But with Dorian and Lala, like real time, they ask so much question, and I love that. You know what I'm saying? They're not afraid to do so. They just do it. Go ahead, babe.
If I could, and I'm in no way or shape or form taking any responsibility for Adori's growth, but having known Adori for going on 4 years now, and seeing the way that she's grown in the last few months that she's been part of the Discord, it's extremely heartwarming. I've seen her grow out of her shell, and I love that for her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
She's always been very quiet, very reserved, very soft-spoken, and she has completely come out of her shell.
Absolutely.
And I am extremely proud of her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I'm telling you guys quiet, I'm talking about quiet. Like quiet like a mouse quiet. Like like you know what I'm saying? Like we'll do the check-ins and she'll be there, but she'll be on mute the whole time. Like when we first started doing it, and now she's in the boxes, she's coming through. She even came up on her birthday and received the love on her birthday. Like that right there told you everything. Like most people when they're in their shell, they won't do that. They won't come and accept the love, right? And take that in. And she took all of it. She was like, I'm here for it. I want it. Let's do it, right? And everybody was dropping her gifts and throwing her mad love and support. I love it. So I'm proud of you.
Let me say this real quick. You know the beauty of a space like how the Discord is it gives the quiet people permission to speak.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like people who normally wouldn't say it or wouldn't share, when you come in a Discord, that comfort and the non-judgment and the safety makes people really, and seeing other people do it, it gives you permission to show up for yourself. And I think this is why I attach myself to it even more strongly. Like in the upcoming year, I want to do more, but there's magic that happens there for people. Like everybody that's up here can attest to it. Like I would not be able to do what that Discord does by myself for people, right? Like the community in itself is the magic, the love, the heart. That gives people permission to say, you know what? Let me talk now. I normally don't share, and then when people had those breakthroughs, it's happening right before our eyes. Where it wouldn't happen on this panel, it wouldn't happen in my workshops, but when people see a larger group healing together, then it's like, wait, I can do it too. That's magic.
Absolutely.
That's the key right there. You see, we're not just up here telling you what to do, because there's one part of being the voice for the voiceless, but then getting to a point where you feel comfortable enough to speak for yourself. Think about what I just said. You have to be able to be in a safe haven or in a place where you're allowed to be vulnerable before you even begin to start talking. And then once you get that confidence that you're in a place that you can speak, you just don't stop talking. It's like, hey, it feels great, and bang, 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 bang. This is why we start. That's why, like what Tanya B said, people start dropping off, like they just start dropping off from the face of the earth, because we have to learn that we attract who we are, right? And it's not that we're getting rid of people. We either gel or repel.
Yeah,
Think about what I'm saying. Either we are making a connection, or unfortunately, you start existing less in my life because we're not in the same consensus. We're not really seeing things eye to eye. But you're also watching us grow. Because as I listen to these testimonials, as we have these conversations, I'm not just out here sharing knowledge, I'm learning too. So we're all in the same synergy. You see what I'm saying?
So real quick before I let Cassie and Alicia go. So Dory and Lala, if after this live or when you get a chance, send me your email. I'm gonna send you a certificate for growth and healing from Monumental, so that way you guys have, guys could frame it, put it up. You know what I'm saying? So that way you guys have it for yourself, just so you could guys to know you guys are recognized. We see you, right? Don't think that we don't. We see you. You know what I'm saying? And without even realizing how much you guys help us when we're growing, right? When you guys grow, we grow with you. We're not just coaching you guys. We're doing this thing with you, real time, right? So we appreciate you 100%. But before I let Alicia go, you coaches are not off the hook. I got one for Hormiga. I got one for Derek. I got one for also Tamika, for the longevity and support of me, for being around me and helping me grow, and seeing that you took a chance on me and didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? You seen that I was able to really hold my own and do this coaching in real time, even though I fought it and I fought it, and you guys beat it into me enough so that way I could realize that this is where I needed to be. So I have a certificate for you guys as well for longevity for 3 years of support and growth and being here for us as long as you've been here for me, because a lot of people don't realize the arguments and fights we had on the back end in regards to this. So I have one for you guys too. So if you guys can send me an email and stuff like that, I can send that over to you guys as well. Oh, Frosty just popped into the live. Frosty, get up here. Come here. Come on. Come on up. Come on up. Because we got to recognize you too. Alicia, go ahead and take the floor. Go for it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I just wanted to say that before I even knew about Monumental, I was following Coach Derek. He was on another platform, and I always used to listen to him, but I didn't like the platform. There was a feeling of making women like they are jokes, and I didn't like that. And then one night I caught him on his own live by himself, and it just connected. And he said, just inbox me, because I was on live asking all kind of questions because I was going through it. And I connected with him, and then maybe 2 weeks later I heard him say, I'm joining Monumental. I'm like, I'm joining whatever you're doing, Monumental. But I wanted to say the growth that I have experienced on this platform, it started with Coach Derek, and I love his videos because I didn't have time to sit down and heal with him in person one-on-one. So being able to do the work on my own was absolutely amazing. And I'm still doing the work. I go through everything you all put up on the Discord. And really and truly, this week, this Thanksgiving week, I saw my growth in real time, where I cooked all my food and my family, my children, myself, and I didn't miss anyone. And my space was a happy space. Anyone that is here that has not gotten on this journey, get on it, because it's family. It's love. They don't see you for a few days, somebody go check on you. Where you at? What's going on? Right? And you don't get that in many of these rooms that we go to. There's no argument. There's just love and respect, and I love that. I have grown to learn the word no. For me, is an amazing word, because I don't want to say I was a people pleaser, but I was trying to please my family members all the way through, and now I've come to a place where I don't have to. And the other thing, I have basically gone no contact, and it is working great for my mental. I learned in this space to put myself first. When I look at my daughter and she said, Mommy, there's something so different about you. That right there was, when I go to work and I see myself, yes. So this place of healing is an awesome place to be. And Emmanuel and T and Omega, I haven't really jumped on you yet, but I listen to everything you say. I've been writing notes all morning. I literally had to lock my door because my son wouldn't leave me alone. I've been writing my notes so that I can go back later and really dive into what you're saying. Then every time you post the lives or whatever, I go back. My journey is going to be a long journey, because it's so many things. At 50, you realize how many things you are allowed to happen in that space of time. And also for us women who have been married, divorced, and just stayed in our bubble, we just don't know what was going on out here in the world. As Derek would say, you had no clue. TikTok opened my eyes to like, whoa. And then I had to close it till later because it was too much for me. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Welcome.
And I will be rocking with y'all as long as y'all rocking.
We rocking with you too, sis.
Yes.
Yeah, we got you. We
I
got you.
appreciate
And
you.
thank you, because we couldn't do this without these participants and the cooperation, the will, and the desire to put this energy forward so that we all can grow as a collective.
Yes, it's a
Absolutely.
positive space. I think I was on the street, was it Thursday night, Wednesday evening, and I put in the chat at Discord, do we have a meeting? And I
yeah.
think he responded, and you should see me speeding home, because I don't like being distracted when we have things going on. I want to be able to listen and really intake everything.
Right.
And so, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Sweet Tea had a comment.
Yes,
I
she
think
did.
it's been divine timing as we get into this break for Emmanuel and I, to see that the holidays have been the biggest testament to people's actual growth.
Yes.
I've seen it mentioned so many times where people are like, I was really able to test everything that I learned over this holiday. Excuse me, my morning voice is not what it should be. We've seen just with Thanksgiving just passing that people have said, I used to do this and now I'm here. I had a much happier holiday because of the fact that I was able to say no. I was able to create a boundary. I was able to enjoy myself because of what I've learned. So it gives me great joy to know that people are actually living in the moment and being able to do so in a much happier state because of all of the things that they've learned over the last few months. So here's to putting in that work and actually seeing that you reap what you sow, right? You are putting in that work and you are seeing the positive benefits to it. So kudos to all of you. I'm giving you all your flowers.
So can I interject? I'm sorry, Frosty, I got to do this. I want Emmanuel to lead the charge on this, but I think we might all have something to say. But we got to give Sweet Tea her flowers.
I was gonna do that.
I know you were. I know you were. But I was sitting here like she's talking about everybody else, but she don't even realize the impact that she has had on all of us.
So okay, hold on. Rest is coming.
Or if you want Frosty to go first.
So yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Trust me. She's gonna be the center of attention in a second.
She gotta be, bro. She gotta be.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Frosty, go for it. Just kind of tell us, since you've been with us, because you're actually one of the OGs as well. Um, what has everything been looking like for you since you joined Monumental?
Dang, I just dropped in here and you just like, there's Frosty. I'm like, what did I step into? I didn't even look to see what was happening this morning. I was like, okay, well, here I am.
Here you go. Right on the
Um,
spot.
are you there, Day Day?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, hold on just a minute. I have my grandbaby right here and I don't want the puppy. It's just phenomenal. I had already stepped into this healing journey and, with the Mind Your Mental, there's so many aspects, so many different dualities and different angles and different personalities. I know when I first got in here and some of my friends came in and they're like, oh, I can't be here with that guy up there. Oh, no, I don't like the way he talks. And I'm like, well, yeah, it
They're
seems
talking
kind of
about him, by
arrogant,
the
but
way.
let me check this guy out a minute. So anyway, I became to really like him. I bought his book. Um, so that was a step for me to say, hey, yeah, I'm uncomfortable, but let me see what this uncomfortable is about. Is it about him or is it about me? Is it about not opening up and letting different, angles come at, am I egotistically picking out something that my body thinks I dislike? In
Right.
actuality, it really liked it.
Hmm.
But I'm used to fighting those things that are uncomfortable, right? And finding excuses and running. But I really like what the Monumental is doing. The book club is coming, so many different things. It's like you can't not have something to go to
Yeah.
in whatever you're facing in your life. I'm married, but I love going into Derek's lives. I love listening to what he's talking. You don't have to be single to get very much good information. I can relate,
Right.
and then I can also find things that that I can use that I haven't been using, right?
Hmm.
And everybody is just. I'm not going to pick everybody out because then I will accidentally miss somebody. But everybody is phenomenal, and it made me tear up when I was listening to Sweet Tea talking because this year is different than any year I've ever had. Because in the past, of course, I didn't have boundaries either. Sorry, and I wasn't able to be present. Coming from trauma, causing trauma, right, with your children, I wasn't able to be present. There was always this brick wall of seeing them in the past and what maybe I caused. Today, I don't have to do that. Today, I can just meet my children where they are. I can be present and just I used to feel like, gosh, I need more time and more time. Now it's like, wow, I really enjoyed that time I had. So that makes a difference of being present and not being present. I don't feel like I've missed out on everything because I was actually there. My mind, my body, everything was actually there. Uh, I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for having me up here and everything that you do because, I'm 60. I don't have kids at home. I don't have all this, but the time is very precious to us.
Yeah.
And so every moment that you guys come up here, although this is something that is very passionate for you, it's your time, So I just appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much.
No, we appreciate you. And the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, right? So when Frosty first got here, it was Frosty and Amber, her and her daughter. They were going through this journey on their page, going through the inner child work on their page live in front of everybody. First of all, that's rare. Don't ever see that, right? That's not something you relatively see. A mother and a daughter wanting to do that type of work together, right? That's rare. Secondly, doing it on live, right? And they I did a one-on-one with her, and they trust me enough to be a mediator to their life while they were doing this in real time. A lot of people didn't know that I did that, right? But it was such a self-reflection because it was like the conversation I needed to have with my dad, they were having together on live. You know what I'm saying? It made me realize I still had something I needed to work on. Like I needed to tackle that because I've been running away from that for a very long time, having that conversation with my dad. And to see them both grow within those times that we did it together, it made me realize there was something I need to stop fighting this. I need to make this happen. So I
Yeah, I wanted
appreciate
to
you.
add to that. We are no longer doing our lives right now, and I'm no longer like helping her with her creative side and her TikTok because we have done a lot of work. So we are at a different space now. We're just kind of growing where we are together now,
I love that.
and we decided that we are going to not do that, and I was just going to be her mom. So
I love that. I love
we're
that.
just like, how about if you just be my mom, so I don't have to like do back stuff on our TikTok and we don't have to, we needed that. We wanted other people to see that, but then we also realized that, hey, we have something here that we want to build,
Right.
so.
I love that. And I also have a certificate for you as well. So if you can send me your email, you have a certificate of growth and healing and just becoming a better version of you. So
Oh,
I
that's
got one for you
beautiful.
as
Thank
well.
you so much. I appreciate it. I received that.
You're welcome. And this is the moment where everybody, right, gets a chance to tell their story with Sweetie. Have fun. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna go last.
Oh, you know I'm ready to go first.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay, I'll
you
let you.
know. So, first of all, I've aptly named her the sweetest of teas, and it is an accurate description. She absolutely is. Um, Not a lot of people take the time out to truly get to know somebody, and the capacity for understanding that she's willing to have, um, the grace that she's willing to show, the amount of endurance she has is damn near unmatched. Um, so this part she doesn't know. A lot of the work that I've done, even on myself, when it comes to emotional intelligence, right? The emotional endurance aspect of it, I was able to fortify because of her, because I got to see her do it in real time, and you really couldn't get a better friend. Um, I'm gonna get emotional about it, but I love you, man. I really do. And I love y'all bond together. It's it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch.
Lala, I think you wanted to go next. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Sweet tea, my friend, um, been there for me many, many times where I didn't message everybody else and kind of wanted to get the feel of the Discord and the family and everything. And she made me feel like that it was a very safe space. So I appreciate that. That was a big part of making the decision to speak more on behalf of myself. And also guidance in Discord technology, not so good at. So I appreciate that. I appreciate not only that, but talking to me, especially when it comes to my daughter in situations that I felt comfortable talking to Sweet Tea at, and I am forever grateful. I love you very much.
I'll go next.
Go ahead, Sonny.
Sweet Tea and I have not had a lot of interactions, but the ones we do have are always gracious, courteous. She's very helpful. Answers all my questions, and if she doesn't know, she'll definitely get back to me with an answer. It's been an absolute amazing ride since I've been here and working with you, and I'm looking forward to working with you going forward.
Who wants to go next?
I go next.
Go ahead.
So I think when I first got to Mind Your Mental and meeting Sweet Tea and not really knowing what to expect, and then realizing that the Mind Your Mental community has a pulse and a heart, and she is definitely a foundational piece of that. And how it functions, how it moves, the support, the heart that she gives couldn't be bigger. And at first I was like, that's Emmanuel's girl. But then I was like, is she really, even if he wasn't here, that heart for what she does for this is going to be there because of who she is, right? Because it's one thing to assist your man, right? And it's another thing to have a life of your own and really pour yourself into it. And that's one of the reasons what makes me comfortable to uproot my whole brand and attach it. Like, she's a big piece of that. And then on a lot of things, because she and I, we work in IT and we almost kind of share a hive mind on a lot of stuff, man. I get her, she gets me, and we have these conversations about stuff, sometimes technical, sometimes not, but that squirrel brain is real, and a lot of us have it, but I get where she comes from, and she gets where I come from, and so it's cool to meet people in general in the community that are like-minded. But she is definitely the root system of this whole thing, and it would not be what it is without her. As much as I love all of y'all, if without Sweet Tea, we'd be over here flailing our little arms trying to fly. Like, what are we doing? She keeps the glue. So that's all I got. Love you, Sweet Tea.
Who else? Who's next? Hormiga, Adori, Frosty?
I'll go.
Okay.
Sorry. Sweet Tea, of course, I met you before Mind Your Mental, and you've always spoke your mind, which I loved about you. Like, you had a lot to say, but it was whether it was positive or you just letting it off your chest, you would let people know, like, hey, this is what's up. And I'm like, okay, cool. I can dig that. But in both communities that I'm in with the Discord, Sweet Tea is always helping someone out, whether or not it's personally or just tech-wise. She's always lending out that helping hand. And as long as I've known her, she's like my big sister, because I'm the baby in the other group. So she's my big sister for sure, and she knows I don't talk much, but if she reaches out to me, yes, I'm going to talk. It's like that big sister that you need that's going to get it out of you, whether you want to say it or not. Sweet Tea, you're more than just a tech support. Like I said, you're a coach too now at this point. You're not tech support. You're a coach too on your own. So I do appreciate you. I love you wholeheartedly, and I appreciate you for everything you've done for the communities that we're in.
Yeah, Frosty needs to go, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Frosty.
Me too. Like, I haven't had that many personal interactions with Sweet Tea, but I've watched her in action, over the Discord, like everybody says, the technology and the help. And when new people come in, she very quickly supports them and lets them know if they're having any problems, and things like that. What I like the most is watching her grow. What I like the most is she's not standing out there and saying, look at me. She's doing the work. She, you can tell by the way she speaks, and, she lets us know about her difficulties and what she's working on. And that's very personal. We bring that very personal to our lives as well. And I just appreciate everything that you do and how much that you support us as women. And she also, took the time. This might seem really silly, but, You know, we were in Riz's game and it was a lot of fun. And I'm like, I love games. We play games at Christmas. And, you know, she sent me, you know, she would send me different games. And that showed me that, hey, she's thinking of me, right? Like she saw what I liked and what I wanted. And she, you know, helped me out there. So I thought that was, you know, that was very heartwarming. So we love you, Sweet Tea. Thank you for everything that you do.
Hormigo.
Ay, ay, ay. I believe that I met both of them very close to about the same time. They wanna blame me for their relationship, right? But here's the thing. What I respect the most about Sweet Tea is that she's not intimidated by it. A lot of people are intimidated by me, and nobody should be intimidated by me. You should be concerned that if you come to me, come correct, because I will put you in your place. She does challenge me in a positive way. She's been one of the first people that have been giving me pushback since the beginning. And I appreciate that. Because in order for us to get from point A to point B, you can't get stuck in A. We could go to B together. You understand? And we can't go together if I intimidate you.
Yeah.
Now, now let me give you an example. There are people that like their homie's girlfriend because of the respect they have for the homie, right? And there's people that respect the husband or the boyfriend because they have grace for the person. I don't have to do that. See, because Teddy's my brother, and that's my sister, and I treat them as individuals. If you would see how many conversations I have with Teddy, and you hear that noise, you know what I'm saying, like in the back, and I don't think she's around sometimes, and I'll say something, but she allows me to be myself.
Yeah.
She doesn't intervene unless she sees something that might have rubbed her the wrong way. You'll hear those noises in the background, you know, like, and that means that there's a pushback coming or rebuttal coming, and I welcome that. So I appreciate her for having my back. Teddy and her, Sweet Tea, equally. When somebody tries to come at me in any live, they don't be having it. The both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Sometimes she beats Teddy to the point. She's like, nah, we're not having that. But both of them equally have my back, and I keep trying to tell people you don't have a real relationship with someone unless they have your back.
Right.
That's very important. I don't know what words I can say to prove how much I appreciate her, except going forward that I plan to go as far as we can with this relationship. She's been there for me technical wise. She's been there for me and gave me a couple of different perspectives for me to open my own brain a little bit and not think so linear sometimes. So, sis, all I can tell you is that I definitely got your back. You know that you can come to me at any time, you know, but she's not going to come to me to waste time. She's going to come to me when it's genuine. She's going to come to me when it's necessary. And she has reached out for me several times. And I could only applaud her growth as well. And being there for me in such a way that I wish other people that I've known for a longer time was there for me.
Yeah.
So, Liz, thank you for being you. Thank you for accepting me in your life. Thank you for everything that you do and continue to do. You're important to all of us. And this Discord would have been disconnected if it wasn't for your technical assistance.
Absolutely. Whew, where do I start? Where do I start?
Good luck, buddy.
Now, honestly, like everything that's happened over the year, like over the year that we've been together, has been nothing but growth. When I'm telling you, we've never had an argument, ever. Never had an argument. Disagreements? Absolutely. Arguments? Never. Like, it's always been positive. It's always been love. It's always been real conversations, real feedback. You know what I'm saying? Not stepping on each other's toes. Definitely pinch fights, because we do that. Absolutely. Um, but no, honestly, everything that's happened has been growth and love and peace. Like, people talk about wanting peace. This is peace. Like, it's been nothing but peace. It's kind of unreal, to be honest with you. It doesn't even seem real. Because where there's peace, there's always chaos, right? There's always chaos lingering somewhere. And we have none of it. None. And she's grown so much, right? I've seen her put herself out for everybody, right? Her friends, her family, us in the Discord, everybody, right? And I've also watched her not get that reciprocated from the people that she's put herself out for. So, having real conversations, we realized I was like, you gotta start putting yourself first, right? Even if we're in a relationship, you have to put yourself first. I've always told her that, right? So that way she can grow, so that way she can become better for her because she needed that. Like, you being a people pleaser, doing everything for everybody, you disregard yourself. And she was doing that, and I didn't like that. I was like, focus on you. Just continue to focus on you. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I promise you, I'm good. Focus on you. And she's been doing that in real time. And I've watched her grow. She is not the same person that she was a year ago at all. Like, completely different. Like, a whole 360. Like, it's not the same person, right? She's definitely grown immensely to the point where it's like, I don't even have to say certain things anymore. Like, she sees it. You know what I'm saying? She sees it and she catches herself, and I just have to step back because I'm so used to be like, nah, stop doing that. Focus on you. Now I'm realizing I don't even have to say that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I know she's grown. That's how I've known she's done immense work on herself. And most people, being the fact that we live together, wouldn't be able to see that, right? But you guys see it. All of you see it. When you first met her, she's not the same person as she was when you first met her. Everything has grown. And she asked the question when we were putting the Discord together. She was like, I don't want to step on your toes just because this is your baby. I was like, no, this is yours. I want no parts of it. I was like, the Discord is yours and only yours. I was like, I'm here just like the coaches are. I was like, we're here just like the coaches are. I was like, I'm just gonna be a coach. The Discord's yours. Like, you know what I'm saying? All of it's yours. That's your baby. I'm not gonna step over your toes. Whatever you want to do for the Discord, you want to add to the Discord, do it. You need to drop down, Tanya? Tanya? Oh, there she go. Okay. Um, it's been growth. It's been nothing positivity and love, and haven't been more happier in my life than I have within the year that we've been together. Harmiga has seen the way that I was in my last relationship. He's seen how I was. I was miserable, right? But I was making it seem like I wasn't. But I was. I was miserable. And she's the reason why I'm no longer miserable. She's the reason why.
He wasn't fooling you, okay?
My, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's been nothing but growth. It's been nothing but growth, and she's the main reason for it. She's the main reason for all of this. Like, all the conversations me and her have had about this, all of this, like, yeah, it's always been love. So I appreciate her. I love her to death. She knows that I'm in love with her. Like, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? She's done so much work on herself, and I see it, and I'm not gonna allow anybody to make her fall short of the work she's done on herself. Yeah, I'll put you through the ringer before you make that happen. And I'm saying that in real time, and I don't care who's watching. I don't care who's watching. Yeah, if you think for a second that I'm gonna let her fall short with all the work that she's done on herself, it's not happening. Sorry, not sorry.
As hard as it is for me to accept all of that, every single word that all of you have said, I receive that. And that takes a lot for me to do. So I appreciate every single one of you. Didn't want this last half hour to be about me, but here we are. I am much looking forward to this break. Not that it's been too much, but we've really worked our asses off to make this what it is over the last few months. I know that Mind Your Mental was a power before me, but we have collectively worked to make that a greater power to stand where it is now. And 2025 is going to make it an even bigger power.
Absolutely.
All on its own. There are many great things coming to this platform for the year 2025.
Absolutely.
2025 is going to be the empowerment that everybody has already begun to absorb, and now we watch it grow. There's going to be the book club. There's going to be platforms. There's going to be vision boards. And there's going to be binders and journals and cookbooks and books. And I can't even begin to imagine what 2025 is going to be because of the fact that we have literally, more or less, whether or not we want to admit it, flown by the seat of our pants to make things happen in such a short time with the way this Discord is growing, that I can just imagine what the actual planning is going to bring.
Yeah.
We always come up with things on the fly, but the actual planning that's coming into 2025 is a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited for all of you. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for all of the coaches to watch them grow. Because just as all of the people that are in the Discord, the coaches are growing as well.
Yeah.
The coaches are doing amazing work. They're coming up with new ideas and workshops to help all of you grow. And in that, they're growing on their own as well. And I'm proud of that growth for all of the coaches, as well as all of the people that are going to benefit from everything that the coaches do. Like Emmanuel said, the last thing I want to do is step on anybody's toes when I was asked to be a part of this. Because I, in recognizing in myself that I tend to be a micromanager, was like, I'm gonna take a step back and I'm gonna wait to be allocated my space, if I even need to have a space. And that was that conversation that we had. I don't want to step on your toes. And he's like, nope, this is as much mine as it is yours and everybody else that we work with. So here's 2025.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what everybody's going to do. I'm excited for Riz's new book. If y'all, let me tell you something. That man getting teary was the last thing I expected. I've known him for quite a while, and him and I always have our tears come from laughter. But tears from emotion that I just saw, oof, that one hit me in my toe real hard. I banged my toe on the door jamb on that one. Because I barely ever hear it from him. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I thank you so much. I received all of that from all of you. Like I said, the last half hour, I had zero intention of even taking any of.
You thought you was getting away.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna just hide in my little corner and mind my business.
Psych.
But yeah, here's
Joke's
2025.
And you also have a certificate of growth and healing yourself, man. Just want to let you know. You got one for yourself. We got to get that printed out, put on the wall.
Isn't it nice to see good trends?
Listen, it is. It's been a long year.
Tell everybody the backstory on the certificates.
So, the certificates came in regards to Hormiga. You know, he's a community man. He does a lot of community work. And he had asked me to create some certificates for the event that he was doing. So, without saying no, because I usually don't when it comes to Hormiga, I said, yeah, I got you. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And we did. We put it together. You know, we figured it out. And it was dope. And then I got something in the mail. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me a second, y'all. I don't know where I put this thing.
There's always while he's getting this, there's always a cool backstory. And I'm not doing this for recognition, but we talked about this earlier in this very live, where we need to ask where things come from. If you need to ask yourself why you like or dislike things, and the where is very important.
All right, I'm back. So, as he's having me create all these things, because you guys know, in real time, I'm a graphic artist and a web designer by trade. So, I created it, we put it together, and we had some errors because we spelled the name wrong, so we had to go back and fix that, and we went through the whole process. And he was like, "What's your address?" I was like, "Give him my address." He's like, "Have you checked the mail yet?" I was like, "No, we rarely check the mailbox," but I was like, "I'll check it when I get the chance." And she came back with this thing. He was like, "Don't bend it." I was like, right on it. So I open it, and I'm just like, why is there like a ginger ale thing? Like a ginger ale thing in there, like a ginger ale cardboard. I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? So I pulled it out, and I got this. A certificate from Hormiga for being a part of the community.
Here's the part that you may not know. You usually put the name in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that with my own hand.
I seen that.
I wanted to put my energy into that certificate because you're the one that helped me put that together. So you were a part of it just as well.
I appreciate that. I really do. I gotta get this frame. That's my goal for next week, is to buy a frame for it and put it together.
Be
So
surprised how a little bit of recognition changes the whole game plan.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid to recognize people for the small things, because sometimes people like sweet tea does not pat themselves in the back. They just keep going and giving and going and giving. If someone else doesn't recognize it, you end up being frustrated and you don't even know why because you're not stopping to smell the roses and pat yourself in the back for the small wins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So everybody that has a certificate, um, Lala, Frosty, Adori, Hormiga, I already have your email. Derek, if you're still here, send me your email so that way I can send you guys the certificate. And then I got to get with Sierra too because I have one for her as well. And Venus, I got one for her as well. So I'm going to message them and request
Riz.
for that. Riz, you got something to say?
No, and Riz for his
What?
certificate.
Hmm?
And
I have his
Riz for
too.
his
I have.
certificate.
I can't remember everybody's name. I got a whole
Yeah,
bunch of them in here.
I'm done crying. That was bullshit.
I have everybody's name here. Yeah, I got everybody's stuff here. I got so many of them here.
No, but I
Yeah,
think
so
Omega's right on that one. Like,
yeah,
just giving people their flowers while they're alive, while you can tell them how much you appreciate them. Um, I even add on to that with Omega and you, Emmanuel. Um,
you said the real name.
yeah,
All the way.
That was
it's
heavy.
yeah, it's been real, right?
Oh my god.
Not
Listen.
not running from the gifts, reluctantly stepping into that power. So
Yeah,
I'm mad at you, but I love y'all at the same time for it.
we love you too.
Because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. It pours out a lot of energy, but I'm grateful. I think that's the
Mm,
best word to use for it.
yeah.
I'm grateful for what we've built,
Really
for what we're going to
quickly,
continue to build.
I'd just like to say that Emmanuel and I have acknowledged that Riz has always been a force to be reckoned with. And it goes without saying that more or less we threw him in that white van and we said, you're going to use your power for good because we know that many people can benefit from it.
Mm,
So, as much as he just wanted to say what he needed to say, we knew that many more people needed to hear it,
mm,
which more or less encouraged us to shove him into coaching.
yeah.
And he was very reluctant at first.
Right.
And
And the white van that she was talking about said free puppies. I was promised a puppy, never got one.
it actually
Um,
said free raccoons. It actually said free raccoons, and we're working on
Welcome
it.
in, Jeff. Welcome in,
Um,
Jeff.
but we more or less knew that just talking about it and saying what he needed to say, there was much more power behind it that needed that coach title. And we knew that he needed to really embrace what he said and teach people on a qualified basis. So that's why we encouraged and slightly shoved. And then when he resisted, it was okay, now we're just going to take you and
yeah, I
put
went
you in
kicking
the
and screaming.
van, and you're
You slightly shoved. I threw him to the wall.
Yeah, I went kicking and screaming. I went kicking and screaming.
yeah.
Yeah, but listen, he's without even we don't even have to say it out loud, but we know Riz has a lot to offer, and his knowledge, his wealth of knowledge, is not of the humankind. So, like, we know that because we've seen it. If you've been in his live, you've seen it. The way that he put things together, most people won't, and they can't.
Have you seen that head of his?
I'm just saying, like it's just impossible to put things together the way that he does. And I'm not saying it's impossible because he doesn't, right? So, but for the regular mind, it's not possible. There's a wealth of knowledge up there that needs to be put out to the world. And when you guys get that book, just know if you don't have questions after reading that book, then you didn't read that book. Yep, I said it.
How many times has he done a live? And I just start scrolling, and I hear my name out of nowhere. Like, I wish Omega was here. Bloop.
Yeah.
And
Most
then
people can't do that.
he does this on purpose. He the good thing about Ruth is that he encourages you and pushes you to think.
Oh shit.
And he has challenged me in very positive ways. Me and Riz have had some. We didn't have to go so deep discussions, but we did it anyway because there are people that were not afraid to go down that rabbit hole. So let's all encourage each other to have a better existence. Let's encourage each other. Don't wait until January 1st to make this New Year's resolutions that don't work. The time to start is now. You have a whole month to start changing the way you do things and enhancing your life. If you do it on January 1st, you will be surrounded with fake energy of people that need a reason to do things except just living.
Absolutely.
I've said that for months now. I feel like everyone in the Discord has gotten a jump start on the new year. They've had months of a jump start on the new year, and that is something that I wholeheartedly believe in, wholeheartedly support. It's not just a New Year's resolution for them. I've said this about Mind Your Mental for a long time. It's not just a Saturday live. It's not just a Tuesday live. It's not just a Thursday live. It's not just any of that. It's a 7-day-a-week job. It's a lifestyle change. And every single person in that Discord putting in the work. Listen to those words. Every single person in that Discord putting in the work has already gotten a jump start on the new year.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And continue to do the work. Like, don't stop, right? Because I'm leaving you guys in good hands. That's the one thing I know for a fact. I'm leaving you guys in good hands. You guys have Riz, Hormiga, Gumbo, Tanya. You guys are in good hands. You guys have Mika. You guys are in good hands. You know what I'm saying? You guys have Venus. You know what I'm saying? She's doing her thing, but you still have her. You guys are in good hands.
For everyone coming in, just coming in, this isn't us stepping out. This is just Emmanuel and I are taking a break for a month. And it's not the end of anything. It's just, this is a break. And we'll be back in January.
Yeah, but now they gotta deal with me.
Well, you know what? I'll offer a hand, Omega. While I think many people don't know how to take you, I think it's confused with arrogance. It's confused with intensity. But from what I've always understood, and I've said this to him before, what I've always understood about him is that it's passion. He's passionate about what he's talking about. He passionately cares about people. He passionately wants to see people do and choose better for themselves because he knows what not doing those things will become.
I tell you what. Let me add a little bit of sugar and spice to this because this is where people get it wrong with me. People cannot handle me at first because I sound like someone you didn't want to listen to.
No, because you sound like an angry New Yorker. Let's call it what it is. You sound like as soon as you get on the mic, I'm fucking walking here, and It's that real New York grit to us that sometimes seems abrasive, but you know we're trying to put a little bit of us inside of you, and that's okay.
But think about this. Think about this. I'm the type of person that when I step in the arena, I already did my homework on you. I'm the type of person that I understand that there's going to be apprehensiveness. I understand that there's going to be rebuttal. I understand that people are going to be opposed to some of the things that I say. But knowing that in advance is one of the key elements of being a coach, is knowing that not everyone, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not going to make everyone happy. But as long as I move the bowels a little bit, then we're in the right place, because sometimes I have to shake you a little bit to get that dust off. You know, sometimes you're a little dusty, you're a little
That fluffy
dry.
shit.
I don't deal with the fluffy, I don't deal with the greasy, and what's the other one? Shiny what?
Them shiny lemons.
But yeah, if you need my hand on the Saturday lives, I will do my best to make as many of them as I can.
And I'll try to also be there. There might be one or two that I might not be there, but
Just
I'll show up.
Just communicate with each other. Communicate with the coaches. You
Yeah,
have the
well,
coaches chat.
you have my number as well. It's not like you can't just text me too.
Right.
That's true.
So just keep in mind we do have the coaches chat. So communicate in there in regards to that. Let everybody know what's going on, so that way we're not all live at once.
Right.
Yeah.
I will warn you. I will warn you. Next week, I'm coming hard.
Words. Short. Jesus Christ.
I mean, just stay away from their eyes. I think it'll
Yeah,
be fine.
exactly. Just don't shoot them in the eye.
Jesus.
Yo, welcome to the. It's 12:15 and I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'm not
Had to be me, right?
I'm ready for it.
I just hope you were aware.
And anything that I don't get arrested for, I'm fine with.
Facts. I love y'all. Be inspired, be
Alright, y'all.
encouraged. Treat yourself like somebody you love, because you absolutely deserve good things.
Absolutely.
I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of Saturday. Do something nice for yourself.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna enjoy this break. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna enjoy this break. I'm gonna miss you guys, right? I'm gonna miss you guys. I will see you guys in January. And be prepared.
Just don't come with a Hawaiian shirt. I swear to God.
No
Don't-
comments. Be no comment. Be prepared, cause the first Saturday of January, right? We're gonna be talking about co-parenting.
Yay!
We're gonna be talking about co-parenting in all aspects.
Bring your cushion,
So bring everything,
bring your helmet, your seatbelt, your cushion.
all of it. You know what I'm saying? You got any final words, sir?
I just want to say, be responsible for what you are responsible for, and not what you think that you need to be responsible for. Because if you're thinking about it, it's not your job.
Ooh, I like that. Lala?
I just want to say that, again, I appreciate everybody, and you're not just helping people on the healing journey. Some lives are actually changing. So that is a big thing for me, and everybody needs to keep pushing, keep going. And I know there's times you might want to give up, but you can't. You got to stop and keep going for yourself.
Absolutely. Adore?
Let's see. Like Lala said, you got to show up for yourself first. Put yourself first, always, no matter what. Take accountability. Take accountability for sure. You never know what could happen, so take your accountability. And if you're not in the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord, please.
Boom. I ain't even have to say it.
You can't go yet. Can everybody power tap to 50K? Come on, we're at 47.6. Please.
Go ahead, babe.
Like Adori just said, if you're not part of the Discord and you would like to join this community, you see what it's doing for people. So don't hesitate. You see what it's done for them in the months that we've had it. And 2025 is about to be a year of growth for a lot of people. Not just the people that are in the community, but the coaches as well. You don't want to fall behind on what they have to offer. You don't want to have to catch up because it's going to move and it's going to move fast. So please, if you'd like more information on joining the Discord, let us know. We will be available to answer your questions before our break, and all of our coaches have the information to fill in the blanks while we are gone. Get in there. Start working on you. 2025, here we come. Cheers.
And the coaches, guys, we have a meeting tomorrow, by the way, just to give you guys a heads up. I know I'm going on break, but we do have a meeting tomorrow, just so we can figure out what's to come for 2025 and how we're going to put that together.
Will you be providing lunch, sir?
Maybe.
Okay.
Just make sure your fingernails are long.
I don't even want to know.
Back in the days, in the 80s, that would have meant something else.
Yeah, we're not even going to touch
Well,
that.
your lunch might be chewing your fingernails off.
My nails are beautiful because I take collagen peptides.
But no, I appreciate you guys. I'm so proud of everybody here. I'm proud of all of you guys. You guys are amazing. Keep doing the work. Do not stop. Don't stop. I think I've left you guys a lot of stuff. So I get you. You guys got 2 books y'all can utilize on Amazon. I got 3, actually. 3 now. I have 3 books. Oh my God. I got 3 books already. Good. I got 3.
No, that's a beautiful thing. What I didn't tell you is that I'm almost finished with part 2 of Live Above the Norm.
Let's go. Listen, I gave you guys a lot of content. You guys have 15 episodes, a full season of content while I'm gone. So don't be afraid to go rewatch those. Go cop the book, cop Shadow of Hearts, cop Beggar by Night, Billionaire by Day. Get your mental health book from Monumental. Get your book. Make sure you grab it. Grab Live It Above the Norm. Make sure you grab Hormiga's book. Make sure you grab RZA's book when he releases it. Okay?
Grab
Take all of
Tanya's
this.
books when she releases hers.
And when Tanya releases the plethora of stuff that she has, be ready. Be ready, because she's coming with fire and she's not waiting. She's going to make it happen. So be ready for all of it. And we're going to be here to support her all the way through. So when she drops everything, trust me, we're going to be posting about it left and right. Same thing with Riz. When he drops his book, post it, right? That's the one thing. We got to put it out there so people can see it. So use your page, whatever social media that you utilize, just support. Put it out there. You know what I'm saying? If you got the books, make a video saying that you got the book, and, see, so people could see what's going on. Like, these things are important. You know what I'm saying?
Also, in support, I know I've been doing it. If you are seeing these coaches in lives and they're posting snippets of the lives, or they're posting about something that they're working on, add it to your story so that people can see it. Don't just repost. Press add to story. And that way people can get more knowledge about what these coaches are doing. I have been very diligent about doing that on my personal TikTok, and I would very much appreciate it if people are doing it as well, because it spreads the word. These coaches are putting a lot of work into this, and it
Okay.
doesn't go sight unseen. So make sure you're posting it to your story or reposting, whatever the case may be. It's free advertisement, and I don't ask for a lot, but I will ask for that, and I have no shame in asking for it either. And I do it myself, so I can't say, "Can you do this for me?" Because I'm not going to ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do myself.
Absolutely. And for me, right, I do the same thing, but I go a little further because I have some other coaches on my other social media platform. So I post them on my story on Facebook, Instagram, things of that nature. I'll post it there as well on top of TikTok. So I'll download it, post it, at them, the whole shebang. I do all of it, right? So we'll never ask you to do something that we're not doing ourselves. So keep that in mind, okay? But I'm hungry. My stomach's growling. Um,
You look like you lost weight just in this life.
probably, probably.
Thank you, Tanya.
But no, we appreciate you guys. You guys are truly amazing. I love you all. Have fun this month coming up. It is Christmas season. So, show somebody some love. Show yourself some love. Appreciate yourself. Support yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself first. Put yourself first. I'm going to say it again. Put yourself first. And happy holidays.
That's the
To
best
all
gift
you
y'all
beautiful
can
people.
give to yourselves this season.
That's it.
And
That's
hurry up and eat the rest of them leftovers.
hey. We about to get out of here. But Mika, send me your email if you can, please. Send me your email. Put yourself first. Yep, I said it. In a world filled with negativity, we choose love and love our own purpose. Keep life simple. Love is the glue. Respect is the flavor. Get dig. Make sure y'all live within your value, energy. And I pity the fool who does mind and mental. Peace. See you guys next year.
I need to know what kind of accent that was.